into his personal life, digging on YouTube, finding out what the guy is doing behind closed doors. He's not the only person. You guys, you sat there and you harassed true empiricism about where he lived and where he's from and whatnot. Then you got the audacity. To sit here and talk about somebody talking about somebody in your family. Does your wife have a YouTube channel? Yes or no? Is she open for criticism? Yes or no? I am No. I'm calling that coward out. That G.I. Joe wannabe coward out. Start a YouTube channel, bring your wife there, and we're going to ask some basic little baby questions. Like, for example, Dragnauct, does your wife have a YouTube channel? Yes or no? According to YouTube terms and service, is she criticism? Yes or no? Yes or no?
This fucking idiot. Now he's mad. Oh man.
You guys got it twisted. You guys been listening to this
guys.
Morris long enough about me being afraid of him. Dragnauct, listen to me, dude. I am old school to the 50th power. I don't care what they taught you in the military.
Oh man.
Right? I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir.
Oh wow.
You keep threatening me. I'm warning you. You know how to come to New York, don't you?
Oh man.
You behave like a good little boy when you was here last time, right? Come down here and behave like a good little boy again. Now I'm going to get legal with him because I said I was bringing JD Kane and all the people in here. That debate between JD Kane is canceled.
Oh no, JD Kane.
I lost my phone in New York, the phone that I'm using right now.
Here we go.
And one of those guys found my phone and copied I don't know how you do it, but one of those guys are able to spy on your phone.
Magic.
They are directly responsible for that troll constantly calling my phone all the time.
Definitely not the person having your number.
He's going to go out there and say, well, G-Man, change your phone number to every party in one night.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
That's one. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second.
Fucking idiot. We were all with you.
Like I said, I'm praying and I'm hoping he opens up a Google Hangout.
I have one open right now.
And I'm hoping he takes his licks like a man. Because I will show up while I'm at work to go there and prove to him.
He's being invited right now.
And it's as simple as that. You want to threaten me, sir? Like I said,
GTV is invited.
Here in your face. You said nothing.
I tell him I sent him an invite.
You said nothing. You didn't want to break any laws. You didn't want to do anything. Yet you want to act like you're tough here on YouTube.
Tell him to bring his ass.
Not my face, boy. You don't know what you're talking about.
Tell him to bring his ass.
Yes, Christians, I'm in the flesh by doing this, but this is a rant, and I want to get this out my system.
Oh.
You think you're so tough,
I forget who I was talking to.
Boyfriends and your girlfriends back over here again, and let's see how tough you guys really are then. Come to New York and try that, or better yet, how about you come to North New Jersey and try that garbage? This ain't Texas, my friend.
Oh.
Why don't you come over here?
Now he's mad. Tell him to bring his ass.
Now, you don't want nobody talking about your wife. Well, apparently I hit a soft spot, didn't I, Dragnauct? Well, I tell you what, she better delete her YouTube channel because from this point on, she's open game, sir.
She's open game? Good.
I have a gaming channel just like she does.
Good.
Watch what I start doing on my gaming channel. Watch what I start doing on my main channel. Watch what I start doing on GTV. Watch what I start doing on Mark My God. Dude, you need to get your house in order and be a man. Pay your own bills and make sure she ain't doing it for you. You are playing with the wrong person.
So, Shanny, me being nice to him.
Dude, I will come to Texas and right on your door.
Okay.
I'm not playing with you.
Okay. I'll give you my address. Tell him to bring his ass. I sent him an invite.
Dragnauct is on YouTube to do one thing and one thing only.
Really?
And these dumb atheists on the internet aren't smart enough to understand this.
What's that, G-Man?
He is on here to make money.
Money?
That is it.
Really?
He don't have a purpose. He does not have an education to have any talent or content
evidently
on his YouTube channel.
Making
all he's looking to do is
a whole
for you knuckleheads to super
$40 a month.
Give him money because he's too lazy to get up his behind to find a job. Guys, I have an injury. I can't work. I'm going to call the United States government and tell them that you're lying to your face.
I'm
you have to work for the United States government. You're not hurting the military. You prove you can walk. Prove you can do this. That means you can work.
He does not know how the VA works.
If you can do this, you can work. You lazy cash cow. Yeah, I sell barrels for a living, but at least I got a job. I work. All you do is go in class, guys. Then when I come home,
I'm Darth Vader.
That's all you do.
I do that on top of my wife.
That's all you do. You sit on your lazy behind and you don't do anything. I'm not the one donating money to your YouTube channel. You want to know who's donating money to your YouTube channel, Dragnauct? And Dragnauct, today I'm going to teach you how to be a man, Dragnauct.
Oh, wow.
If the Hebrew Israelites are outside, you're going to see 5 and 10 and 15 or 20 of them against little old me. That is what I define as a man. Somebody that actually gets off of his butt and does something that's going to make a difference. Versus you, sir. Time to go fishing, guys. Hey, guys, have you heard what G-Man did? The video after that? Have you heard? I made Dragnauct. Without G-Man and true empiricism, there is no Dragnaught.
So
that moron can't produce any content.
Really?
Dragnaught doesn't have a YouTube channel without me. That's facts. That talentless having
yes, BKB.
Don't even know how to upload a video teaching anybody anything. Oh, I'm sorry, he does. I'm sorry. Today, guys, we're gonna be talking about
Mrs. Drag tells me to be nice to this idiot.
Sulfur mixing with water.
Oh yeah, I do have chemistry videos.
You have to talk about me to be relevant on the internet. And then the dumb atheist on YouTube. I'll super chat you $10. I'll super chat you $1.
Somebody's jealous.
So entertaining.
Somebody's jealous.
Why he's calling you stupid behind your back?
I'm calling you guys. You guys are stupid. You guys are stupid for doing that. All of you.
I was told by multiple people in your own community to stop responding to you because you are just on here to just get under people's skin. Dude, if you don't want nobody talking about your wife, get her off of YouTube. And you know you got a couple of videos with her mentioning my name on here, right?
And she's telling me to be nice to you.
You understand that, right?
Yep, and she's telling me to be nice to you.
But listen to me. When I come into that room later, all I'm going to bring up Brett Keane and his family.
What the fuck does Brett Keane have to do with anything?
What the atheist view is about that.
What would the atheist view?
You hypocrite.
Hypocrisy.
Now, there are some people that's going to say, G-Man is upset. My Bible doesn't say that it's wrong to get upset. It's wrong to sin. Be angry and sin not. That is what the Bible says. Bible says
this is what happens when you send a stern warning to G-Man. He gets a little perturbed.
Stop the nonsense. Jesus went into the temple and threw out the money changers. Don't give me that nonsense. But he didn't sin.
G-Man, Jesus? Could there be a similarity? Somebody's triggered.
Dragnauct is this close to a flag war starting to happen here on YouTube.
Oh, he's going to start flagging. Good.
I'm going to contact YouTube and just have them shut him down. Because this is just ridiculous. All this dude does is cyber stalk people. That's all he does. The guy.
Yeah, I do have my own community. I know.
He has copywritten material on his channel that belongs to Wah that he has not taken down yet.
Wah.
I'm about to destroy this dude.
Do it.
I'm telling you.
Do it.
And when I say destroy, let me define my terms for the court of law. Okay? What I mean by that
I'm gonna get destroyed.
I'm gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna start complaining about how this guy is cyberbullying, and they're not doing nothing about it, and they may have a lawsuit put on them.
Oh, good. So everybody else report his Black Hebrew Israelite videos.
It ain't just him. His scientist Sam, his girlfriend. I'm sorry. That's a metaphor.
I'm the big spoon, by the way.
I don't mean that literally. Because if I don't say that, G-Man doesn't even understand what
a whole $40. I'm in it for gas money, folks. Thank you for the gas money.
If Dragnaught's gonna start doing this, you want to know what? Starting with him and Redline.
What the fuck has Redline got to do with this?
For a very long time, my phone miraculously appeared when I wanted to go to the counter, and I told them I want a copy of the records of this of the cameras there because I know they caught who did it.
Really? This is him making up stuff, folks. I'll tell y'all what really happened after he's calmed down a bit. This is funny.
I'm pausing for a reason because I want that to go in your head, Dragnauct, because I got money saying that it was you or Redline who did it.
Oh, while we were with you the entire time?
No. Let me take Redline out of it. Redline was probably the one who tampered with the phone. Redline wasn't downstairs at the time.
Redline was with Hannah.
It had to be either you or somebody else that was downstairs. I'm going to find out, though, Dragnauct. Don't worry.
Oh, really?
And when I do, you're going to jail. That's all I got to say. You're going to jail. Because I'm not one of these people that just say things and then don't follow up with the dude.
Redline, it had nothing to do with him. Nothing at all. Redline made it his purpose to move away from G-Man.
On YouTube with any dispute or anything like that. And I'm never going to lose one. Because I know what I'm talking about. Especially when it pertains to New York and New Jersey.
Okay, let me pause this. Hello, dear.
Hey, what's up?
You wanted to clear some things up?
I just want to know, when have I ever been disrespectful to G-Man on YouTube like he just said I did? Like, I've made comments mentioning his name. I just want to know when I've been disrespectful to him on YouTube. That's all I want to know.
So he's talking about those videos that we shot when we were out at the park at the Bayou. And you're saying that I need to be nicer to G-Man. And that you notice that the back and forth, there's fault on both sides. And you're more so criticizing me than saying anything about him. But I think he took that.
So how is that again? No, he said that I made several comments apparently on his channel or whatever he said of me being disrespectful to him. And what does you guys' petty drama has to do with me, and why he thinks just because he feels some type of way about you, he thinks that means that he needs to be rude to me when I've never been rude to G-Man?
No, because he's a fucking malicious man-child. That's more than likely what it is. Because he has to make up stuff, just like he's making up stuff about the phone. Because now
and just to answer G-Man's channel, yes, G-Man, I do have a YouTube channel. You know that I have a YouTube channel. We've talked about this a few months ago when we were on the phone, and I told you about my YouTube channel. I've been on YouTube since YouTube exists, but I didn't start my YouTube channel until I don't remember. It was like October or November. Whenever the PSP Go came out, that was my first video back in 2009. And most of my stuff pretty much kind of started as gaming, and then I started talking more about K-pop because I love K-pop. So it's just a mixture of that and just some other random stuff. But the difference about my channel is I have content, unlike my husband. And I don't go, messing with other YouTubers. I just don't see the point of that. And the only reason why I'm aware of this community is because we moved to Texas and I was in the process of looking for a job. I didn't really have much else to do but just to chill and watch and see, well, what is the big deal? So I didn't really know much about G-Man, GDC, what have you. I didn't know anything about this until probably August of last year. So, I mean, I've heard my husband, I've heard about G-Man here and there, but I didn't really know G-Man. So, I don't know. It's just, that's all I have to say. I don't know. I'm just all over the place because I'm just feeling some type of way.
New Jersey City. That's all I got
Someone's
to say.
Animated.
That's all I got to say. I'm nobody. Like I said, come to Jersey City.
Somebody's upset.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, she does play offender.
It's bad enough I pity you because you and your family are gonna rot in a lake of fire because you're too stupid to think for yourself.
He pities us. Wow. That's new.
Yeah, Dragnauct. You and your family are gonna rot in the lake of fire.
You'll be put in a mental institution. Somebody's upset.
Shaman Watch, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you Doc Savage? Didn't you ask me why a person like you was blocked off of my YouTube channel? Now you're gonna be asking why you're blocked on this YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate if you bring your fake credentials over to the atheist community, because I don't respect you as a scientist or a doctor or anything like that. Now, some people are like, oh, something's going to happen to something's going to happen to G-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to go down there and deal with the Hebrew Israelites. If I got something to be concerned about, it's going to be like 25 to 1 person. That's where I should be concerned. But if you guys think I'm taking that...
And so I drew a distinction between the people who dress up as Black Power Rangers and me. I am not them. They are not me. Don't compare us.
You guys think that I'm concerned about him, a person who has a contract with the federal government, on here making threats to people. See, I'm not stupid. I understand.
I have a contract?
The position this buffoon's in. I don't think he understands.
Oh, really? Tell me my contract, G-Man.
It ain't nothing but a phone call. That's all it is.
Who do you call, G-Man?
That's all it is. And he won't be getting any more GI Bill.
he's gonna call someone and they're gonna take my GI Bill.
I'm gonna end this hangout. I'm gonna go to Dragnauct channel. I'm gonna see what this man.
Oh my God!
How am I gonna get the link?
Oh,
doesn't have
I sent him the link.
Hallelujah!
I sent him the link like 10 minutes ago. He really thinks he could take my GI Bill.
Is to send a link to my email. To my email. Watch for the storm at gmail.com.
Watch for the storm at gmail.com.
In the event that Dragnauct can't spell, W-A-T-C-H. I'm sorry, W-A-T-C-H.
It's sent, folks.
For F-O-R, the T-H-E.
God, he is dumb. I already sent it. It came up.
At gmail.com.
It's already sent, man.
For F-O-R.
Oh, because I'm the one.
gmail.com. You send me the link there, and I will be in here shortly when I can do a couple of things in here real quick.
He's gonna take my GI Bill, folks.
This coward don't want none of this. I met him in person. He was like,
oh. Look, folks. Look, that of all the claims, the fact that he threatened that he's gonna take my GI Bill, that is funny. You can't. It was in the contract. The federal government guaranteed, not G-Man, not this mentally fucking handicapped person on the internet. He's going to talk. Hey, who do I talk to? Do you guys know Dragnauct? We don't have someone named what service was he? I think he was a Space Marine. What Space Marine? We don't have I think he's the Arami. Yeah, I think he's Arami. Yeah. What rank was he? He's a super sergeant. Yeah, he was a super sergeant. So we need a real name. Dragnauct Sylvalis. So, oh, he's offline now. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is a way to start the morning, folks. So he's spent. So okay. So for some of you who don't know what he's actually referencing as far as a phone thing, okay, so let me put up this scenario for you. If you are in a hotel room, let's say you're going to go visit folks, there's about 3 or 4 or 5 people living in a hotel room. You need to put, for whatever reason, you need to put your personal effects down on a counter. Do you put your stuff next to other people's who are actually staying in the room, or do you segregate it from everybody else's stuff? Now, just take some time. This is a hard question that G-Man didn't figure out. So if you chose keep your stuff away from everyone else's and segregate it, then you chose the right answer. G-Man chose to put his stuff amongst JD Kane's stuff. And so when everybody started cleaning up for the maid service, guess what? Stuff was collected and put to the side. So while everyone else was out with G-Man and we're all searching for his phone that he, for some reason, decided to put down among JD Kane's personal effects, that's what ended up happening after everyone finally went, okay, let's just tear the room apart instead of looking out in the Uber, looking out downstairs, looking out everywhere else, because he was all over the goddamn place. So So he comes up with this plot that while everyone else was with him, someone somehow took the phone after he put it among other people's stuff, and then some tech wizard with us did some type of tech magic to his phone while we were all looking for his phone, and installed some type of software or some shit that hacks his phone. So this is I'm not sure how he thinks this actually was acquired, or accomplished rather, while people were actively looking for his phone, but he believes it. So it's not, it's definitely not the fact that he gave his phone number out on multiple occasions for his talks with the Black Hebrew Israelites. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do that people who have programs that call phones that had his number already, who came on my fucking channel and explained how they were doing it. Nothing like this. Just, it's so stupid that he needs to be put in a mental institution. He needs to be put in a mental institution, folks. Someone literally came on my channel and explained how they were doing it. But this fucking idiot didn't even, I sent him a text message and told him the person was admitting to how they were doing it and explained it. How stupid do you have to be? Just sit. I mean, I understand, folks, y'all love G-Man, but think about how stupid he has to be when the person who's doing it is explaining it. But he would rather stick to some weird paranoid tech wizard scenario that he thinks is cooler, because that would make for better TV or something, I guess. But it's funny. You can tell that he's really jealous that people pay me for entertainment reasons. But here's why people, did you hack his phone like you hacked Drew's website? Yeah, exactly. It has nothing to do that his like graphic and formatting skill just suck, and his grammar and spelling suck, which that we kind of expected. It had nothing to do with that at all. But so yeah, so it's so funny. It's so funny how all this stuff transpires. So if you had not seen my video last night, I told G-Man that, look, you can say whatever you want to me. You can say whatever you want, but do not insult my wife, because she's not insulted you. That was a pretty good summation of my video. My wife has not, she's gone out of her way not to insult you, not to say the things that I say. And so suggesting that she can't think for herself is an insult. Added on to the fact that G-Man has already said that that he's just going to bring her into drama because he's mad with me. Now, for you Christy folks out there, didn't I say you guys need to check him? Because when I bring the heat like that and then he gets upset, you see what happens. You see what happens when I go, you know what? That comment you made about your brother's putting a bullet in my head, that's an actual threat. And I could actually take that to the police. What I said live on Talking Shit Tuesday, where there's 100 people watching, but I'm not going to do that because it's not that serious. But should I decide to do that, G-Man, you're in some trouble, bro. G-Man, if you really, and I'll explain this for you folks who I guess don't, because not all, if you're not in the military, you don't know anybody, you don't understand how the GI Bill works. Okay. And I guess some people are curious how I can be a full-time student and pay this. So again, I'm fairly transparent. I collect VA compensation. Okay. That's already been processed. The only people who can change that are the physicians who work for the VA, not some random illiterate cretin from New Jersey. You can call whoever you want to, G-Man. You can literally call President Trump. It doesn't matter. You can, and I implore you, go, please, G-Man. If you think that you can impact my family financially by trying to call the DOD or President Trump or whoever, please do. I want you to try. I want you to record it too, because it's going to be funny. Because it doesn't work that way. If you would actually take some time to look up how this works, you would see that that's not how that works. Call the VA. Call the VA if you think that that'll impact our rent, because guess who pays the rent with their VA? So if you think that that me not having a formal job is cool, well, you know what, G-Man, I've alluded to this earlier. But I actually do have a side job that I don't mention. And if it's hard for you to understand that it's off the books for a reason, or I help people with their academics. There's a lady right now that's paying me to help her to get her BSN, a Bachelor's of Science of Nursing. And so she's doing a capstone project. So I'm being paid quite well to help her with that. So that's where my supplemental income comes. And as well as some people super chat every so often. And I have links down there for people who are entertained by this channel. But the Patreon and most of the other content that I'm paid for is actually I have videos, G-Man, that you can't see of me in the lab. So if you're concerned that people are actually paying me money to be on YouTube because I'm actually putting out content, the thing is, G-Man, and here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. You can't see that content. Only they can because they paid for it. So while you're talking about who's doing what, you might want to actually check on the stipends that I get for books and the stipends I get for living expenses from the GI Bill, which again was part of my contract. You can't call somebody and tell them to breach my contract. It doesn't matter. Yeah, YouTube is paying my bills. No, YouTube, I get gas money. Every so often, somebody will send me a gift, like someone sent me money for the weight vest because they wanted me to have the weight vest. People have sent me books. Mouty has sent me uh, hot sauce that burns my ass. But I just think he does that because he doesn't like me. But whatever. So if you were upset that people don't send you stuff and that you're not making anything and you have to work at a shit job, then I don't know what to tell you. Get talented. I don't if you don't know how to monetize yourself and market yourself, I don't know what to tell you. Because that's my problem. So to be fair, I'm profiting from G-Man being a moron. Yeah, to some degree, you are absolutely right. You are I say there's a symbiotic relationship. G-Man can do bad all by himself, I agree. But he's at his best when there's other people triggering him. Because that what we just saw, that's a mass triggering right there. And so he felt that when I got serious for a microsecond. You could send him a bag of dicks. That would be cool. So Petralis, you've actually lived with me, I don't know, your entire life. If you might want to tell folks, if you have, honestly, if you guys have any questions about how I am outside of YouTube, Petralis is my little brother. If you didn't catch on to that, so so it's funny. He was big mad. That's what we call big mad. And I woke up to this. How big is my look? I have an entire cabal. All right, I have a team of underground ninjas that are ready to strike at a moment's notice. And so these underground ninjas are trained from Solid Snake. So Solid Snake himself has trained my underground ninjas. And so you know that they're deadly. You know that they're super deadly. So folks, I sent G-Man the link it's been about almost 20 minutes now. I sent him on GTV and I sent him a link on that email that watch for the storm. It like as soon as I started typing it in, it came up. And it's like G-Man. It's like two N's at the end. I was like, oh, that's weird. So I'm waiting on him. We'll see. He claims that he comes and answers all calls. So let me send it to him again. Watch for storm. Watch for the storm. Gmail. Yep, and it comes up as G space MANN. So I'm gonna send it to him again. Okay, so MP just texted me. So this idiot, is contacting MP because he blocked my number. Yo, this boy is fucking stupid. I don't know how I've already invited GTV. He didn't fucking check that. It would help if he just stopped blocking people left and right because he gets upset. Because I'm gonna blow his shit up as soon as he comes in here. He ain't seen me yet. Hold on for a second, folks. Hold on for a second. I gotta send the link to myself on Facebook, and so I'll have the link to be copied in my phone. So I'll open up my messenger in my phone. This is stupid shit I gotta do for it. Goddamn idiot. And okay, Facebook, you're gonna I hate. Y'all ever had the issue with a messenger won't connect to the internet? You ever get that? Remember what I told you about how I deal with G-Man? Y'all watch. Y'all think I'm playing? Remember, if y'all watch my my link from the other day, there we go. All right, I sent it to MP. There we go. All right. All right, folks. We're gonna see. All right. What's going on? Okay. Right. To my wife last night. MP's asked me what's going on. For myself. Okay. Yeah. G-Miss, he hit 10,000 subs. Congratulations. I'm waiting, G-Man. I've been waiting. I want to see this. I feel like I'm picking on a special needs person. You know. The special needs person is more malicious than y'all think. If y'all think I'm being mean right now, let me tell you, I know shit that would really shock y'all. G-Man has no idea the kind of stuff that I actually know about him. There's a handful of people in the chat right now that knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it's way worse than any of y'all think. G-Man is not the innocent idiot that y'all think that he is. The second he figures out how much I know about him, he's gonna freak the fuck out. Y'all have no idea. That's why I kind of laugh, because I promise certain individuals, actually I had a good conversation last night, that I would not say. So, oh, there he is. So who you gonna call, G-Man, to take away my GI Bill now? I'm curious. What number is this?
So what are you threatening about? So why are you threatening me on YouTube?
Oh,
I want to know what the legitimate reason is, because you're gonna see a first here, my friend. What is your legitimate reason for threatening me? I want to know what it is. I am not playing, Dragnauct.
Oh, you're not playing.
What is it?
So
no, I'm not. You better have a legitimate reason, or you're gonna get some friends over there. And by the way, since you're so open, what's your address? Let me write it down. So when I call the police, that they come over there and they deal with you. Because I'm about sick and tired of you.
Call them right now. Call the police.
All right, give me your address.
Call him. Oh, he muted himself. Fucking idiot. There you go, dear. You can talk to the idiot. Let me try to invite Thallow Blue.
Give me your address.
It's 1-800 suck my dick, you faggot ass bitch.
Yeah, you don't want to give me your address because you know you're breaking the law right now.
Breaking what law, G-Man? What law?
You're breaking the law. Dude, you didn't publicly threaten me over some old stupid stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the law come over there and tell you if you do it again, I'm going to prosecute your behind to the fullest extent of the law for it. And Dragnauct, listen to me, dude. I'm not playing with you.
What threat was that?
What is your address?
What threat was that?
I already got your phone number. What is your address?
What was the threat, G-Man?
According to Standing for Christ, you're on here threatening me.
About what? What was the threat specifically?
Answer my question. What is your address?
You didn't even watch it. You don't
answer my question.
So you want me to tell? So tell me.
You don't want nobody talking about your wife, right? You want nobody talking about your personal life. How many times have you dropped my dots on this channel?
So have you?
How many times have you gotten to my personal life on this YouTube channel?
So did you actually watch?
You answer my question.
Did you watch my?
You act like a big bad boy on this computer. Come to New York.
I am a big.
Come to New York.
Didn't I make you get on your knees when I
come to New York?
Did you not fall to your knees?
Come, Dragnauct, come to New York. That's all I'm asking, dude. I am begging you to come over here and visit Hannah again and watch what happens.
Question: Did you not?
Yo, on a real, dude. On a real, go get a job and stop playing games with me.
Okay.
All right. So the bottom line is this: you can make your threats when I'm not there, but when I come in person, you ain't got nothing to say.
So,
when I call you out, you don't want to do nothing about it, right? Dude, listen to me. I am not these other people on the internet.
Oh, you're not.
All right, I'm warning you.
So did I not make you fall to your knees when I first met you?
Dude,
It's a simple question. It's a yes. Oh, he's so mad he muted himself again. Look at that. Folks, this is too, like, he's that mad that he's muting himself.
Whoa. I'm not muting myself. You're muting me.
Oh, really?
You're muting me.
With my hands,
and the bottom line is that was my idea. I'll put multiple personalities on here right now, and he'll tell you that was my idea. Or do you not know I recorded the whole thing too, you liar?
So the part in Starbucks where MP wasn't even there?
Dude, you was not putting me on all of you guys are shaking and shivering when you first met me. So don't even go there.
G-Man. You were this tall.
G-Man. Hang on. G-Man.
Yo, Dragnauct, you're doing a lot of talking, bro. I don't see you buying the ticket to come over here. That's all I got to say, dude. But I tell you what, give me your address. Watch what I do. I'm not you, dude. I'm coming to Texas anyway. Give me your address.
What's called is
that's all I got to say, because I'm coming in with the blue, not the blue shirts, with the black shirts and the badges, because I'm getting sick and tired of you.
So I'll tell you what, I'll give you my.
You are breaking YouTube terms of service when you're doing the things that you are doing. But don't worry, you'll be taking me serious enough soon.
I'll call my cousin, who's a police officer, lives.
I don't care who you call.
But he is the police. I mean,
you're gonna need the paramedics if you keep messing with me. Tell me that right now.
I am EMT.
Yo, dude, I don't care if you went to the military or not. All right, I don't care. I'm not the one with the messed up back. I don't care.
That's part of my compensation.
I don't have no problem with that, yo. On the real, if you got a problem with somebody talking about your family, keep them off of YouTube. They're real simple. Real simple.
Or you could control yourself.
Now, what's your excuse for Brett Keane? When you guys were going after him psychologically and going after his wife and putting naked photos on the internet about his wife and saying all this stuff about Miss Keane and whatnot and his kids and whatnot.
When did I?
You explain that to me. Don't give me that garbage sitting here that you guys can attack us and then act like you don't do anything.
Who is us? No, I
want you guys thrown in prison. I want your YouTube channels destroyed. I want you guys to lose all of your rights in the United States of America because you people don't know how to handle it.
I'm
dead serious.
The irony. Someone don't know how to handle themselves. Yeah, because you're right here, a shining example of self-control.
G-Man. Check out.
Okay,
just one sec. Sorry.
You people are disgusting.
Listen, check out Drag's demeanor and check out your demeanor. You're spitting and sweating and acting like an absolute maniac. You're not making a point. Drag's sitting there chilling and you're freaking out.
So ladies and gentlemen, all this mouth to get me in this room so he can make some money. Make your threats now. I'm only staying here but so long.
Can I please say something?
Come on, Dragnauct.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You overweight coward.
Can I say something, please? I have a question. I have a question for G-Man. Hello?
What do you want, Miss D?
Yeah, I just want to know when I've been disrespectful to you on the internet.
All I did was made a couple of comments on GTV, and each and every time I was wrong, I apologize for doing it. And this buffoon over here, every time I sneeze, cough, wipe my butt here on YouTube, has got something to say about it. He wants to respond to a real workout video with him walking around with a stupid vest on. Are you serious?
Okay.
That doesn't answer my wife's question.
Listen, Dragnauct. The bottom line, I'm not in here for your wife. The fact of the matter is, you want nobody talking about Miss D. Do you have a YouTube channel? Yes or no?
G-Man, you know that I have a YouTube channel. We talked about.
Okay, so if you have a YouTube channel, why is it that all of a sudden that you're off? No one should talk about you, but everybody can attack Brett King and his family.
Okay, first of all, I have nothing to do with Brett King.
Well, I understand that, but your husband's an atheist.
Oh, no!
Your husband's an atheist. He is a supporter of those people who have attacked Brett King. And Brett King, if you're watching this, if you're smart, use this, Brett. If you're smart, Brett, use this. Because this hypocrite right here is getting a taste of his own medicine.
G-Man, so yesterday I made a video where I was talking about you, but I also made a video talking about something else. People went on Shani's channel saying some foul stuff about Shani and about Shani's kids. And I said,
you're a two-faced Drag. One minute you're nice, Drag, and the next minute you're doing things for filthy lucre's sake. We all know this. Ain't nobody on here stupid. You don't like Shani. You never did like Shani, and you think she's only here for the butt of your jokes.
Very open about what I think about Shani, and I've been on Shani's channel. I've told Shani there are certain things that
you ain't got no business talking about nobody. What you need to do is go to the one ass and go look for a job. That's what you need to go do.
I don't think that people need to be telling Shani that she's abusing her kids and Shani's killing her got kids and this, that. That's way.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll make a video later and show you the real Dragnauct.
So,
thinking this phony right here thinks he's just going to put on a front and then think people's going to forget about what he said about true empiricism, going to Chicago, wanting to fight him, and all this other stuff and whatnot. And what he said about Brett Keane, what he said about me, and everybody else here on the internet. Dude, listen to me. Go take your acting somewhere else. I don't want to hear it. You ain't nothing but a fake and a fraud. And you better pray to God you're not the one who found my phone in that hotel. That's all I got to say.
One of us has been diagnosed with extreme emotional disturbances, and it sure as hell ain't me. So,
like I said, I will say this again. You better hope you're not the one that took my phone. But you want to know what, Alfred? You want to know what, Alfred?
Alfred.
What's your address, Alfred?
It is okay.
Alfred, what is your address?
414.
Alfred, what is your address?
414. Shut the fuck up.
Alfred, what is your address? If you're so confident you didn't break no laws, what is your address?
It is 8.
What is your address if you confident you ain't break no laws?
It is.
You can't do it. And you want to know why you can't do it? Because your husband did break some laws, Miss D. And this man is going to jail once I get his address. I know I got it around here somewhere because he gave it to everybody. But when I find it and I get it, he's getting some cops coming to his door. And you want to know what, Drag? You better pray to God I don't find out that you're under contract with the United States government, threatening people on here on YouTube. Really? You better pray to God I don't find that out. All right. So what's your address, big boy?
I'm under contract and I'm all.
What is your address, big boy?
Go ahead, fella.
G-Man, what law has Drag? What law has he broken?
I want Dragnauct to give me his address. I'm not giving you nothing. I want his address. What is his address? Dragnauct, what is your address, Dragnauct? See, ladies and gentlemen, I proved my point. This coward don't want none of this. This coward don't know what he's talking about. This coward don't know nothing, okay? All he knows how to do is run his mouth on here to make a couple of dollars here on YouTube and to be super chatted. And then that's it. That's all he's good for. Can't debate, can't talk, has no talent, can't produce content. All he does is make fun of you like a little big giant kid and whatnot. Miss D, I don't know what you see in this buffoon. Go get yourself a real man who takes care of his responsibilities. And don't lie for him on here. Because there was a time I did this to somebody else and they lied to me about what they were doing. This man ain't doing nothing. I bet you Miss D is paying the majority of those bills in the house.
Should you get a real man like you?
No, never said that. Never said that. And I don't advocate for divorce. Perhaps, but perhaps she can train you into being a real man.
Oh, like you.
Because you ain't no man, dude.
Where's your wife?
I would humiliate you in front of you. Dude, listen to me. You ain't no real man. You ain't no real man. At all.
So one of us did the military. One of us has a wife. One of us has a family. One of us actually has a career and prospects in the future. One of us is just a barrel stacking loser who can't barely fucking spell.
A barrel stacking loser? I have a job. Where's yours?
Going to school. I get paid.
Where's your job? Where's your job, Dragnauct?
It's down the
street. And by the way, I don't just sell barrels, you imbecile. I also sell appliances. And I do construction. Do you know what an appliance is, Dragnauct?
Yes. I work for Home Depot and Lowe's.
You're an idiot. Okay, so the bottom line is, I do construction in the day, and I'm at the store in the evening. On Saturdays, I'm here pretty much until the evening time. So please explain to me how you are somehow got the nerve to talk about me, a working man, versus a guy who sits on his butt all day playing Nintendo, and why his wife takes care of him.
So
you got a lot of nerve to talk, dude. Shut up.
So Mrs. Dragnauct.
You got a lot of nerve to talk. All she's going to do is lie for you because she's your wife. That's it. What you need to do, sir, what you need to do is get off your behind and actually work for a living.
G-Man, you're going to give yourself a heart attack.
Good.
Okay.
Go ahead, dear.
Now, I'm consistent with my attitude. I ain't get on here faking. I ain't get on here acting. I ain't get on here and do none of that. Dragnauct is the person that gets on here and does all this until one of us shows up. Just like those Hebrew Israelites. Blah, 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 until you show up.
All right.
I'm in your room. I'm on your channel, and you pop all that lip about me, Dragnauct. Where's your evidence for any of the garbage that you're talking about?
My wife's trying to talk.
Where is it?
I cede my time to my wife.
Okay, go ahead and see. Okay, so your wife wants to get involved with this? Fine, no problem. Go ahead, Miss D.
Well, the reason why I'm here, G-Man, is because you asked me to be here in the last video. I don't know if you realized.
Why is your husband making videos about me? Because I mentioned you on GTV.
Okay, you said that you wanted to have a hangout.
I understand that. Why is your husband talking about me because I mentioned you on GTV?
Stop yelling.
Because you made comments on me saying that I can't think for myself, or
yeah, and then what did I say afterward? Come on.
I told him everything that you said, G-Man.
Yeah. So Dragnauct, how am I an imbecile, Dragnaught?
Can I please speak?
And I would like evidence to back up what you're saying. I don't want to take your word for it.
You're talking over my wife and she's trying to finish.
And your point is, well, what are you going to do about it? Nothing.
What's your address, G-Man?
So I'm actually going to do that.
Would you reveal your address online, G-Man?
Okay, so go ahead and finish talking, dear.
No, I don't know your address, G-Man. I don't know your address.
Go ahead and finish talking, dear. Go ahead and talk, dear.
I understand, G-Man, if you're upset with drag, that's all fine and dandy. I have not done anything to you. I have not said anything to you for you to pretty much talk to me the way that you've been talking to me and saying those little side comments and shady comments. I haven't done anything to you. I've been nothing but nice to you. I've been on your side. I don't know if you remember that. You probably don't. There's been lots of times, and I still continue to have to tell my husband, enough. Leave it alone. Please stop making videos about G-Man every 2 minutes. It's annoying. It's obnoxious. I'm kind of tired of it. It's petty. And it's just very unnecessary. So
he's still talking and he doesn't realize that he's hidden.
But I'm also on my husband's side too. But for you to sit there and say, "Oh, what you gonna do? You gonna lie? You're gonna just lie because that's your husband." That's an example right there, G-Man. I just don't understand what it is that you have against me when I've done nothing to you.
Okay, now I'm gonna. He's still trying to talk, but
it's that fair game thing.
He's been screaming this entire time.
Yeah, but he doesn't see the difference between a person that he's directing it to that's done something to him and somebody that's onto the side of it. He's just gonna fling out shit. And it's going to go on to everybody. He does not care. He doesn't see the difference between drag and you, Mrs. Drag. It's the same because of Brett Keane and Christ knows who else, Suzuki Das.
You muted me. That's right. So yeah. So this is a slander campaign. So continue to do it because you got about 40 or 50 more seconds to a minute, and then I'm leaving.
Exactly. That's the thing.
I have a job. I have responsibilities. I don't have time to waste my time too much with this big trolling here. He's only doing this for money anyway, because they need it badly. But go ahead.
I've not made.
Yes, you do, Dragnauct. You're broken. You're poor, and you need a job. I mean, you need to get a job, but you refuse to go get the one ads. You refuse to go pick up a newspaper to go find a job to provide for your family instead of letting your wife provide for your household herself, right? How come I always see her going to work, but I never hear you about going to work or anything like that? Like you're boasting and bragging about going to school. You a player, sir. You're playing your wife.
I just want to point out one thing. G-Man, I want to point out one thing, though.
Y'all got 30 seconds.
There was one time that you said something about... There was one time that you said that money wasn't important. The amount of money that you made
18, 17,
doesn't
16.
Make sense.
Come on.
I'd say.
Did you not listen?
I wasted my time. Y'all got anything important here to say?
So here, I got something important. Bye. It's like, bye. So he's so upset. So
Christ,
there you go, folks. There you go.
I like to point out one thing though. The time that he said that you were muting him, you had both your arms up around your head. So
right.
We have kind of definitive proof that Dragnauct now has a prehensile dick.
Yes. Yeah. Does anybody else want a link? There you go. I told Sam that I would trigger him to the nth degree before Sunday. There you go. There you fucking go. So.
Oh fuck.
So I did warn him. I warned him over the phone the last time he tried to drag. And I didn't say people can't criticize my wife because people talk shit to her all the time. But then He likes to make
Right.
these
I can
personal
take
remarks.
criticism. There's a difference between criticism and just being shady. There's a big difference.
Yeah, and I've
Criticism
told him,
is watching my guitar video and saying, hey,
you
you're
suck.
playing the wrong chord. It's a D chord. It's not the C chord. Not, oh, you can't think for yourself. You have to, take care of your husband because he's nothing but a bum who sits around and eats potato chips. That's not criticism. That's disrespectful. That's rude. The thing is, him saying it to me is just like, why? What have I done to you, G-Man? I'm still waiting for him to answer that, and he didn't even answer it.
Done nothing. Done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's the thing. He doesn't actually watch the videos. He doesn't actually hear me say anything. He'll go on what someone else says, and then instead of acknowledging, well, Shani was paraphrasing, maybe I should go investigate for myself, he's just going to go in and start assuming stuff. And it's clear he didn't even watch the video because he couldn't even tell. Like, even I asked him, I said, well, what threat was that? I'm going to give you my address here on live for whatever reason. But
I mean, didn't he technically threaten you?
Yeah. Oh no, he did. He did. That's why he's doing that now. So
Shani says she's.
Well, please do.
Shani says she's calming him
I
down
mean,
at the moment.
he's also just a blatant liar as well. I mean, I
Oh,
was in
yeah.
that hangout. I was in that. Went ahead and blocked the host whilst he was in the hangout, and then he proceeded to block every other person in the chat. Started doing that. He said, "Watch out, guys! They're about to block me, and I'm about to get ejected from the room."
Yeah.
And
no,
he subsequently went blocking everybody, which meant he automatically, by default, got kicked out of the room.
And
Well, what's funny here is, like, I brought this up before, is that there's certain things that G-Man does, okay, and that he is scared. He comes into this room and he thinks that he's going to try to prove a point. But what he did was just show how terrified he actually is to have a discussion. He doesn't want to sit here and talk. He's going to come in here. He's going to yell over people. He's going to interrupt. He's going to make it that nobody can say anything. He's going to. The only way that you can respond to him is to yell at him. That's what he wants. But nobody took his bait this time. Just let him rant like a loon. And all you're showing now at this point in time is that this is somebody who does not want to have a discussion. This is someone who's afraid to have a discussion. Who's afraid to have his own trespasses exposed out there for people to see. He doesn't want to be held accountable for anything. He just wants to come in here, rant like an idiot, and get kicked out just so they can feed his narrative. He's weak. He's a weak person.
Just saying him then. Oh, sorry, Dross, go on.
That's okay, fella. I was going to say, I mean, if it wasn't Drag doing these videos, it'd be someone else, probably someone like me. If I could be asked. I just really can't. I just don't think he's worth the effort. But I think that, for me, the pivotal question that Drag asked is, what was the threat? What's offended you? Why are you reacting like this? And he could not, or he would not answer that question. And that, to me, is the point. If I have a problem with someone, and I've had a problem with a few people, I tend to direct my problem to them directly, and I'll articulate why I have a problem. And sometimes I'll do that in a very enthusiastic manner. But, at least I will say, this is why you've pissed me off.
Yeah, we talked about this last night, where it was that there's certain things that G-Man does, like why I would be willing to go into a room with somebody like True Empiricism and have a discussion with him, because that's somebody that, from what I can tell, probably more or less would like to have a conversation, but they can start off talking cordially about things. G-Man can't start off on that level. He starts off antagonistic. He starts off angry. I used to say as a joke that G-Man's greatest strength is that he doesn't realize how stupid he actually is. But you take a look at the behavior that he's doing today, and you realize that I think he does realize how stupid he is. And I think it scares him. That's why he has to come in and start yelling instead. That's the best he has.
Yeah. Never argue with an idiot. They drag you down to their level and beat you with experience.
Yeah.
I love the fact how he's so confident that he sells appliances now.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like and notice that I said the second thing that he was going to say before he said it. And I had said this before. G-Man and I actually have a very I had a very similar job, except I got paid significantly more for it and more respect. But it's not a hard job.
I worked for an appliance retail unit when I was 16 as a summer job.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to Sokka's point, realizing you're stupid, it should be a strength, not a weakness. Or maybe I said that wrong. I don't know.
I think the thing that I've just noticed as well, because I've never tried to talk G-Man down from the roof like just then, he just reminds me of a horse that's bolted.
Oh,
and
nice.
cannot hear, cannot see, foaming at the mouth.
And you hang on for dear life and hope for the best.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Grit your teeth and you just hope. And
yeah, but the only difference is this horse is running like what 60 kilometers an hour at a solid brick wall.
Well, he was talking. Oh well, yeah, yeah.
I would have said a cliff actually, but yeah, I agree. But yeah, I also think
back in.
I also think I do agree with one kind of slight thing. I do agree that if you've got a problem with someone, don't involve the rest of their family, don't involve their personal life. I just think
but he can't tell the difference.
No, he can't.
That's what I said before. It's everybody. Everybody's the same. Mrs. Drag is the same as Dragnauct. Fair game. It's awful. It's bad.
Well, it's and you're right that he can't separate himself from YouTube. I think that's one of the big problems here, is that the only aspect of his life that I think that he is proud of is that he has 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I mean, that's not really a huge accomplishment. That most people would be like, okay, whatever, who cares? It's not like he's making his living off this. It's not like he has a million subscribers plus or anything like that. This isn't what he does full time. He's got a small full following, and he's just a little fish in big pond, just like the rest of us. 10,000 subs doesn't make him, any more superior than any other person in this room that likes to come up and have these discussions. But he thinks that he can measure his value by the number of people that have subscribed to his channel, and that's where he derives his value from. And I think that's the saddest thing about somebody like G-Man, is that his entire worth is dictated by his YouTube channel. And that's just bad.
But this is also, never mind the fact that his YouTube channel on every single one of his videos has like 3 times the amount of downvotes as upvotes.
Yeah, I should tell you something, but
I think it's one of the other things that's actually poignant about this whole debate thing. And it's one thing, whilst it's good fun to take the piss out of someone for doing something really stupid, and I admit I do the same. But it's also why generally I try and stick to, what argument is someone making, and does that argument actually have any validity? Because G-Man is enough of a dick and is enough of an idiot to try and actually raise, a kerfuffle with the police. And really, regardless of whether there's a case to answer or not, it's still a pain in the ass to have to deal with that kind of shit. And that's what he's hoping for, is people will be intimidated, honestly, by his utter ignorance of what the law is.
Well, I'm wondering what he thinks is going to happen, because I told him, I was like, I will call the local police. Oh, I just so happen to be related to one. So who does he think? Should something, let's play this out. Should something happen, so it wouldn't be New Jersey police driving down to Texas. They would be contacting the local police, which the local police I'm related to. So what exactly does he like? And I guess Shanny's saying that, it's going to get serious. Well, okay, cool. So what do you guys think are actually going to happen? Because I can call my cousin, right? Well, he's probably asleep. He had a long shift. I'll call him later tonight, and I'll ask him, and I'll give him G-Man's phone number, and so he can talk to G-Man himself.
If you're in the UK, he could possibly try and do slander, but that's a very expensive case to try and prove, because it's something you don't get any help with paying for lawyers for in this country. It's why a lot of Americans come over to the UK to do slander cases, because we have better or nastier slander laws than you do. But the fact that we're actually commenting generally point for point on his video, so we have something demonstrable we're going back to. There's basically sweet FA you can do. There really is nothing. You're not actually breaking any terms of service. You're not actually doing anything more than commenting on someone's video, which is fair use, fair case. He's putting himself out into the public light. So if he's doing that, then he should expect some form of criticism. You know, so yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I put stuff, you know, not a lot of stuff. I put some videos up on the internet. If people want to moan about the shit I talk about, fair dues, go for it. Don't give a damn. You know, generally I can substantiate the points I'm making. Or if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. That happens a lot.
Yeah. Well, he can't separate criticism from personal attacks. He thinks they're one and the same.
Well, I don't even think he knew half of what he was saying, because how are you breaking the law? And all the things he was saying, taking away your benefits, how does he... It's like, how does he... I think he was just... His mind was just outside of his head. It was just... He was making it up.
G-Man has this inordinate attitude where he thinks that he just deserves to have things taken off other people for no reason whatsoever. I mean, it's not just simply that you take... well, in this case, Drag's paychecks off him, but also, what was it, back in the day, Scientist Mel should have her degree stripped from her, and she should just be downgraded to basically a kitchen slave.
How does he think those things happen? What is this, like the world that he wants to be?
He feels
therefore, it is the real world.
He feels an inordinate sense of self-aggrandization and self-entitlement, although that's undeserved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely undeserved.
It is classic narcissism. It's the fact that he's projecting his problems on other people. It's the fact that he blames everybody else and will not take personal responsibility for the shit that he spouts and the rather nasty stuff that he says in a lot of his videos. The way that he generalizes everybody into these vast groups. Atheists do this, atheists do that. You know, pagans are this, pagans are that. The fact that he actually has now really come out as a polytheist because he says natural gods exist. So he's not a monotheist anymore. He is a polytheist by his own actual definition, but he's actually too stupid to see it.
Well, that will require reading, and him being, you know, barely literate is kind of an issue there.
Yeah, but that's an interesting. I mean, it is interesting with G-Man that when you go to the kind of identitarian viewpoint that he has, where he has to put people into groups, you know, because that's the only way he can handle it. It's really hard to deal with somebody on an individual level, to actually analyze what their arguments are, to discuss the points that people actually believe. If you put people into one group, accuse them all being the same, well, I mean, that requires very little thought on your part, because all you have to do is make a blanket statement, all atheists this, all atheists that, and it's a much easier position to argue for.
But the problem is he also stuffs up a lot of those statements too. I mean, a lot of those statements are internally inconsistent with each other.
I always find it interesting whenever I go to somebody's house, if it's the first time I've been there, one of the first things that I do is I see what's in their bookshelf, because I think the books that people have in their bookshelf is very telling on, it's one of those things. I'm just a nosy bastard, but it kind of addresses what the thing. And all he had on his bookshelf was just religious books. There was nothing else up there.
Yeah, mine is going to be like almost entirely math and science. As soon as you said that, I'm like, well, we have it split. The daddy shelf and the two shelves for my son, and it's nothing but like biology, genetics, calculus.
No. Hang on, G-Man does have that one biology book with the parrot on the front. We've all seen that one.
Oh, the kid one?
Have that. No, it's a big biology book. I don't think he's ever looked at it, but it's got a colourful parrot on the front.
What is it? Potentially of pandas and people?
No, it looks like a proper book.
I think it's like what I call a middle school biology book, if it's the one I'm thinking of, and I think I remember the book the fellow's talking about.
He used to hold it up quite a lot.
Yeah. I mean, my bookshelf is a mix of maths, history, some basic science books, an awful lot of reading books, and an awful lot of archaeology.
We all seem to have like a good mix of things because for my example, I actually have finance, I got law, I got some fictional books, and then I also have English literature and quite a few Shakespearean books in there as well. So it's like a healthy mix.
Do you know what I think would be a good thing? If everybody posted a picture of what their bookshelf looks like. I think that would be really fascinating.
You're going to trigger Matt Slick.
Oh, really?
I'll have to take a few pictures. I've got quite a few bookshelves.
So you know what? How about this, folks? I'll do you one better. You remember I talked about my cousin who actually is a police officer, a local police officer? I'm about to invite him to the hangout.
That'll be a laugh.
Oh, God.
Whose house are we seeing at the minute? Who's that? Is that Sokka's?
It's Sokka's. H.P. Lovecraft. Oh, man, look at that.
Oh.
How to be gay in the modern age. Cool.
Oh, no.
Satanist Bible.
I like H.P. Lovecraft, actually.
Oh, G-Man's live, evidently.
Oh, is it? Oh, what shame. Where is he? Let's have a look.
Let me see. Oh, I'm missing Mel.
But he clearly has work to do, right?
Let's have a look. Hannah and multiple personalities. That's the name of the hangout.
Oh, why? What's Hannah done now?
Doesn't matter.
She's the same. She's lumped him with everybody else.
What the hell's MP done?
Probably told him he was out of pocket.
Doesn't even go by that name.
No, I don't see it.
Can I ask a personal question, Drac? And don't answer it if you don't want to. But would it be fair to say you probably make less than $100 a week doing YouTube, if not less than that?
Oh, way less than that. Like so.
Okay, I'm being really generous with Patreon, maybe.
So combined, I'll probably garner $40 a month from Patreon, and the cash out from the super chats doesn't happen for like once every maybe 3 months, but it has to reach over $100 in order for there to be a payout anyway. So yeah.
So let's be generous and say,
hold on.
Just say that you make maybe $2,000 a year, and that's probably being really generous. How many people would consider that actually a reasonable amount of cash to make as a living?
Someone homeless?
Hold on a second. Here, you want to talk about the interesting books? I collect some old books as well. This one's good. This one's Social Games for Recreation. This was originally printed in 1935. Yeah, and it's about planning soirees and shindigs in the modern age of 1935. I like that one.
Right before World War II, huh?
Yeah. If you want to throw a big party in the 1930s, that's the book that you need. And then this is just my fiction shelf.
Personalities for bringing his name up in any of this. All right. So it is a character flaw on my part that I need to stop doing. Again, I'm doing this for legal issues because I believe I'm going to have to put this in front of a judge at some point because I don't believe this guy is going to stop. I believe he's going to keep doing what he's doing, and I'm not going to.
He's trying to clean up his image now.
Let him get away with this. I'm seeking legal advice of what to do right now.
Good.
If he would have gave me his address later, I was calling the police. I was not joking around. And I don't think it's gonna be hard to get it since I know what state and his name is. I'm gonna find out where he's at, and I'm going to call the police because this has to stop.
So y'all heard it, folks.
No military veteran threatening me over something that he doesn't even know what he's talking about. I'm not gonna tolerate that.
Whoa, a military veteran? Who's that? You know,
he wants to play stupid and coy, like he didn't say or do anything and whatnot. These YouTube atheists have no morality whatsoever. They don't have none. So again, I apologize to Hannah Zubby and multiple personalities. I would also like to extend another. Actually, I don't have to apologize to the other guy because I don't even remember the dude's YouTube name or his name. There was another guy there,
Vince,
heavyset guy, and I don't remember his name.
Vincent
and whatnot. So, and I know I don't think he has anything to do with this either. I think the only parties that are involved in this is Dragnauct and the YouTuber that you guys know by the name of Dragnauct, and a couple of other people that I'm really suspicious about. And I have my reasons for it. I have documented on my laptop. And on my
Luckily, we
desktop.
had a lawyer with us during this shindig.
They can say things on the internet, but just because no one's talking about it doesn't mean that we don't have a screenshot of it or we haven't downloaded it or recorded it. Right?
Well, I think that he needs to go call the police. That's what he needs to do. Like, he really does need to get a hold of the police so that they can tell him to stop being a little bitch.
I hope.
Yeah.
Well, forgive me for this. I'm not familiar with like American law, but in Australia, if you have a civil case involving property, you can only sue up to the damages that were inflicted upon you. So if he managed to get that cell phone or mobile phone back without any damage, what can he even claim as damages?
Right. And things like slander and libel, you'd have to be able to demonstrate that you've suffered some type of financial penalty, or that you would have been affected in some way.
Or reputational penalties as well. You need to demonstrate that, and it actually has to have a financial impact upon you.
Yeah, and all those things, all those things are things that you will have to be done in a civil court. And so again, he's not going to, unless he's going to come up with the $60,000 to take Drag to court. He's
mental anguish.
Accomplished a lot.
He basically is up shit creek without a battle.
Well,
right.
That's one of the reasons why people take slander cases to the UK, because we class reputation as part of the damage.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, which is why a lot of American, there's quite a lot of Americans. If a British paper, normally anytime you can, you sue the shit out of someone in California because there's no upper limit to damage.
Yeah, but when you think about it this way,
but in the UK,
G-Man with a reputation.
Well, exactly. I mean, the other way that he has to go would, if he wants to think that there's actually a criminal case here. Well, I mean, the U.S. has one of the few countries that actually has guaranteed freedom of speech. That their right will not, your right to freedom of speech will not be infringed. Now that means that essentially you can do and say whatever you want next to inciting genocide. Like any call to action for physical violence, when you're trying to, get people to do something that will be, violent or can lead to violence. Well, as long as you don't cross over to that realm, then you're fine. You're protected. You can say anything.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He did cross that line. He was in a hangout. He was saying that he was going to hire a hitman to put a bullet in Drag's head.
I actually have that hangout right here. I'm waiting for MP to come in.
So that would mean that technically he would have broken the law with a threat like that.
In the UK, he would have. That's actually an actionable threat in the UK. He could actually be taken and put in prison, and people have been charged and put in prison for doing that.
So let's waiting for MP. I'll play it again. So I'll let people listen to it for themselves. Draw your own conclusion.
Hello.
Who invited Look a Pig?
That's a good question.
YouTube, I think about it. You guys don't know about. But I was born and raised in Jersey City, New Jersey. No, it ain't that. You guys are gonna find out anyway. I can't keep a secret on the internet no more, so I'm gonna have to make a video and open up about some stuff. So it's just Dragnauct and some of these other people who are more interested in what's going on in my life than what's going on in their own lives. Those are the people I'm concerned about because, like I said, my family members ain't gonna want to hear it. They're gonna drive to Houston and put a bullet in his head if he talks about them the wrong way. They don't want to talk. You know what I mean? So, and I know Dragnauct can handle himself, but this dude's got to learn to know when to back off, man. Seriously.
So, MP, did you catch that?
You're muted, MP.
Yeah, that's why I kind of said it's. I don't know. He's speaking hypothetically. I don't know.
That wasn't. Yeah, that's what I was. I wouldn't call that a directed threat, because you'd have to say really something in the lines of Dragnauct, I'm going to come and put a bullet in your head. That's
It's
directed
veiled,
threat.
though.
It is veiled. It is in that grey area. But I think that, again, he's not saying, well, he's not saying you're going to get this if you do this. He's basically saying, oh, you want to be careful because, there could be repercussions from other people. So, I don't know.
Hey, Dad.
But,
it's like, if you do this, this will happen. So it's your fault if it happens, basically.
And I want to see. Well, MP gets his mic together. I mean, if he's talking about legal repercussions, and I think that he might want to. New Jersey police. You stop making Gary Moore cry.
Who is that? Is actually classic.
I bet you that's
that is possibly something you could get in trouble for, Drag, is if he bothers the police so much they just get pissed off with you.
Yeah, it could be. I get a call from my cousin. Hey, leave the idiot alone.
You're like, hey, yeah.
But what I still don't understand is, it's like, I talk to you guys sometimes about biology, and I admit that I know the square root of nothing about
and how there's Jersey City police.
But I don't understand why he feels he's got knowledge on things that he really doesn't.
Could that be the narcissist?
My question is, which one of you is the Russian spy that implemented a bug into his phone?
I live in Salisbury.
That was Hannah Zubby, right?
No, it's actually it was Fiona. She's MI5, and we didn't realize it. Oh, sorry, MI6.
I live near Salisbury, and I was in New York last week.
Sorry, MI5 is local, the national security. MI6 is international security, right?
Oh no, she's MI3. That's Scotland security.
Oh, Scotland's under MI3.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up at this point.
That I was going to go with that. We were going to invent the whole MI3 for Scotland. Why MI3?
That makes sense. MI3. So secretive that we didn't even realize that it was there.
It was there, right?
Oh,
well, actually, MI3 is actually 3 different agencies in one.
So
I know MI7 is censorship and propaganda.
Yeah.
So that would explain her love for horses. Due to the fact that
is the internet
horses to transport?
Is the internet slander division part of MI3?
No, that'd be GCH, key communications and information and threat analysis.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Sorry.
So Dalton Thomas is asking, Drag, how did you go true into challenging you to a fight? So some of you probably heard him mention that. He's completely rewritten how that story even went.
Mm-hmm.
So here's how it actually went.
It's the other way around, wasn't it?
It was the other way around. That's the funny part.
I was
like
there.
He completely just makes up shit, and like he.
I think. Sorry, I'm just going to say for the purposes of G-Man's rant that he just had, I think up was down, left was right, white was black. Everything was turned around.
Yeah, it's anything that can make him or his friends look like a victim. Like he will blatantly lie. Like when you ask him direct questions, he knows he's fucked. So he'll just keep lying, and so that's why I'm calm, because I know if I ask him to tell the truth, he will absolutely fucking lie every single time. If I ask a question and it has something where he's done wrong, he will lie or he'll obfuscate. But in this case, Dalton Thomas, here's what happened. Dickweed here was making like threats, like he was a tough guy, like the bravado, the same kind of shit that he always does. And I said, look, you shouldn't try to big boy people on the internet, because you're going to run across that one person who's going to fuck you up. You really don't know. And I said, that's a really bad idea, G-Man. True watches that video and goes, you know what, Dragnauct, while you're over here talking and you're making threats to G-Man, how about this? How about you come here and how about we have a fight? You know, we can do it for Gus's Gus's fundraiser or whatever. But how about me and you fight? And I'm like, did you not just see the fuck? How did you get that out of me saying you shouldn't challenge people to a fight. Like these guys are hilarious. And so I said, you know what? Let me see how far I can take this, because this is just dumb. This is too dumb. And that's how it ended up happening. And it culminated to a point where people were going to donate to our flight for me to go up there and whoop his ass. And then he challenged. He said, "Oh, you need to meet me in the next 2 hours. I'm going to be at this gym, and here's the address, and it's right around the corner for me." And I'm like, I have to pick up my son in the next 15 minutes. So you want me to leave my son at the fucking bus stop, go hop on a plane, and fly to your shithole town to come fight you in some raggedy ass fucking gym? Really?
Yes.
I just want to one of the points that
it was a public toilet.
One of the points that Thal just brought up there was when G-Man was like up was down, left was right, black was white. The reason why that happened was because he couldn't stop talking. He knew that the moment that he ran out of energy and stopped talking, he might be forced to actually answer a question. He might be actually forced to engage in some type of dialogue with the people that like Mrs. D that were in the room. So he couldn't stop talking, which means that he had no idea what he was saying. I don't think he was trying to obfuscate. I don't think that he was trying to lie. I think that he was just trying to see pretty much how long he can monologue without actually having to stop for a breath and answer a question.
He's been listening to too much rap music with vulgarities in it, I'd say.
Good catch too, Thallo. I had a
That's why I brought it up, bro.
I had a fun conversation with some folks last night about that. Oh yeah. So thank you for that. It's funny. Same folks are give me some information.
I wish that I'd have pressed him on it a little bit more when he was with his profanity and his choice of music, because he was saying that you need to listen to music and you need to zone out and you need to, think about nothing when you're training. But my point was, why does his music have to have profanity in it? But right. I didn't press him on it. I should have gone extra on him, but I didn't.
Did it start, I want to send a message out to my fraternal brothers in Philadelphia? Rage Against the Machine there.
There was plenty on there that he couldn't repeat. And I'm thinking, well, why can he listen to it but he can't repeat it? It just
can't say that. Can't say that.
I can't say that. I can't say that. Can't say that.
He can listen to it in his free time, but if he hears it from an actual person, then it offends him.
Yeah. Well, he was in the world at that time, wasn't he? So it was okay.
Or what we can do is we can swear because we're actually rappers.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
It's just an art. It's art. It's art. That's why they can do it.
Yeah.
So
when I swear, G-Man, you're out of luck, and that's why we just don't give a fuck, or something like that. Someone with rhythm rhyme.
Was that rap or Shakespeare? I get
that
so confused.
Was me showing that really I will never have a career in that industry.
I mean, maybe it's just the accent that just threw me off. But I mean, like
made it Shakespearean.
You just made rap Shakespearean.
Maybe I could do chap hop. Hello.
I came up with a new hypothesis.
Because I don't give a fuck.
I just don't give a fuck. That's why you're out of luck and you suck.
What if he's using rap music as a way of sorcery? Sort of like how smoking marijuana is witchcraft now.
Is it?
That's what he said. Smoking marijuana is a witchcraft. It's sorcery.
Yeah, it's very ritualistic to a lot of people.
I don't think that he actually understands what those words mean, but we'll go with that.
No.
Well, he became a psychic and ended a stream and claimed I kicked him or I sniped him. And then in the next stream, said that he ended it before I could snipe him. So that's why it ended that way. So,
you guys know that he texts people and he asks people to come in and snipe his hangouts, right?
Really?
Now I feel obligated.
Yeah, no, I have evidence for that. Actually, Sokka remind me to send you the screenshots. He does text people and ask them to snipe his hangouts.
Can we just bring up again, just because somebody can say this kind of in the external chat, whether this is stemming from the whole, is Jade the lesbian conversations, and no, in a way, I guess. But what this stems from is that G-Man's channel is not about proselytizing. It is about finding people and calling them out. That if you take a look at the content that he actually produces, 90% of it is antagonistic towards somebody or a group of people.
Right.
So when Drake has taken on this endeavor, basically saying, it's like, okay, so for every single call out video that he does, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to call out his video. It's just reciprocation, in that sense, and he can't handle it. And it's funny that he can't handle it. That this is what he does. This is his pastime: is to sit on the internet and bitch about people. But God forbid that somebody does that to him. And it just highlights the hypocrisy. And that's why it's funny.
Like
that's why we watch.
Atheist experience spam calling. He can't handle being called, but he's going to do the same thing to the atheist experience.
Well, he won't get enough people to actually go in with that with him, I don't think. He said he's going to get like hundreds of people to spam call that show, and I don't think he will. I don't think he'll even get a handful. He'll get nobody.
All it took was one MI3 agent.
Harry, finally. SMP?
Yeah. I was just checking my mic. I was like, I couldn't unmute for a while there.
Welcome, MP.
MP Nate Brody. Oh, I'm sorry. I doxed you, man.
Jersey police. No one here wants to source you.
So, well, I hear all the G-Man stuff. It seems like G-Man has caused a little tiff in the community again, huh?
He outdid himself again today.
G-Man is the tiff in the community.
He went fucking Super Saiyan, man.
So, Soccer Count, can you check Facebook? And actually, Bullionator, you too. Yeah. I'm gonna send you guys a screenshot. So, I want you to confirm. Look, I'm trying to. I got to send it to you on fucking Skype or something. But you guys can confirm that G-Man's asking me to snipe his channel.
What was the situation for that?
That is that is a message from G-Man asking you to go into his channel and snipe him.
What did he want to finish a hangout and he didn't want to?
He wanted to.
Himself?
DD came in and he wanted it to end rather than telling GD to fuck off. He wanted me to snipe him.
Is that the one where he at the Mars bar?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't watching it at the time.
Was that a euphemism?
Well, it could be, yeah.
It seems like you guys have a lot of legal issues coming up too. I hear people calling the police and lawsuits. What's going on?
I wanted to play something for you because folks had linked me this and said that G-Man was making threats against me as far as his family putting bullets in my head. It's somewhat of a veiled threat, it seems, but I wanted to run it past you just to see because while we're talking about legal stuff, you know what? Why not?
Let's go to the videotape.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up in a second. Because
you need to take him to the People's Court. That's where you need to take him.
The People's Court. Welcome to ladies and
People's Court. Well, I'll tell you this: there's a lot of times, even when I was a prosecutor, where people would make threats, and you wouldn't prosecute those things. We wouldn't even really arrest because sometimes those are just cases that are so hard to get a conviction on. You know what I mean?
I mean, if he could afford a lawyer, then he should definitely do it. But here we go. Let me play this 1 second.
I got a few family members that's on YouTube actually, that you guys don't know about. But I was born and raised in Jersey City, New Jersey. No, it ain't that. You guys are gonna find out anyway. I can't keep a secret on the internet no more, so I'm gonna have to make a video and open up about some stuff. So.
You got a lot to open up about.
Before you do it. Before you.
Oh no, you guys have no. Oh, I can't. I cannot speak about it publicly.
Well, you better tell me in private.
In their own lives. Those are the people I'm concerned about because, like I said, my family members ain't gonna want to hear it. They're gonna drive to Houston and put a bullet in his head if he talks about them the wrong way. They don't want to talk. You know what I mean? So
Well, I don't think that's a threat. I don't think that first part is a threat. It is. I understand where you can get or you can surmise a veiled threat, but he's saying, well, if you talk about my family this way, they'll react in this way. It's not really saying, yo, I'm going to go and shoot Dragnauct in the head. You know, that's more of the direct threat to people. That's not really a threat. It was kind of like, you know, these are circumstances that will cause you to be harmed.
All right. MP making me very happy. That was pretty much exactly what I said.
MP,
But
is that enough?
I don't have any legal training, so that makes me feel better.
Would that
I can see it now, G-Man showing up at the gate and just sitting there trying to get in. Then your cousin comes along, drives up, and be like, "Sir, are you intoxicated?"
Google Quake.
But MP, what about a restraining order? Would that be grounds for a restraining order?
No, not really.
Not
really.
Because there's no direct threat. That's part.
Yeah, it's a, like if you would have said, I'm gonna go and blow to Houston and blow Dragnauct's head away, then that would be enough. That you'd say, okay, hold on. That's when you start, you know, calling authorities and making those type of things. But by saying, he just set up a condition. If you were to say this about my family, this is the way they would react. Then that's a totally different scenario. That really, he's not really threatening Dragnauct's life. He's not really, you know, he's saying someone else would do it, and this is the way they would overreact. So it wouldn't be anything. I would consider.
So what you're saying is he's just kind of proposing a hypothetical. So if I was to say that if G-Man doesn't stop making YouTube videos, he's going to be sodomized by an escaped gorilla. That's not a threat.
Yeah, that's not well, unless you know you're the escaped gorilla. Then,
or you own a gorilla that you've trained to sodomize people, and you.
That's beside the point. No, that is beside the point. Just because I've trained a gorilla to sodomize people does not mean that it's guaranteed that he's going to sodomize G-Man.
But I think we all know the difference between a direct threat and you know, just a circumstance in which if you perform an action, then the consequence is this, and that's what I think G-Man's response seems to be more entailed to.
Most of this stuff, again, correct me if I'm wrong, MP, it goes back to what is deemed to be reasonable.
Of course, yeah.
Reasonable expectation.
Yeah, you set up the fake. What do they call it? The fake. There's like a fake. The standard is like you set up a fake person who is like the ultimate person who's ultimately reasonable, and say, would this imaginary person believe that what G-Man said was a direct threat to Dragnauct's safety? And I don't think we're making
my lawyer has contacted me, and I just want to say that I'm not going to confirm nor deny that I am in the possession of a sodomizing gorilla.
That's a very, very good statement. And you don't own a G-Man mask. You run around outside its cage, poking it with a stick and showing your bottom.
But if said hypothetical gorilla did exist, guess what his name is?
Pokemon Bravebutt?
Pokemon?
Gary?
Harambe. It's Harambe, isn't it?
Dicks out for Harambe.
It seems like we always get ourselves worked up like this, though. I don't know. I think sometimes we get these internet tough guys, and next thing you know, the one wrong thing is said, and now we're talking about lawsuits and bullets in people's heads. It's like we got to calm this thing down a little bit right now.
Yeah, and there's people that are trying to calm him down, but there are also people who are like, "Oh, I don't like Dragnauct. Let's see if you can take his GI Bill. That sounded cool. You should do that."
What?
Yeah, you missed it.
When you said that, I was like, "No."
Yes, he said that. He said that.
Say he's doing.
No, I heard him. I heard him. I was like, when he said that, I was like, "No, Dragnauct fulfilled his contract. That's the payout. That's why he wasn't a slave when he was in the army."
But Dre didn't read the fine print that said that the conditions of his GI Bill will be null and void if he makes fun of retarded people on the internet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
If you're making fun of retarded people, I take offense.
Well, you should put it back.
Okay, fine.
Put a fence back. Their yard's missing it.
Yeah, he's been bent out of shape. I've been making video responses. I went and dug a 3-year-old video up where he's threatening to dox JD Kane in a few hangouts prior to that, and I think it was in Raw. Yeah, it wasn't Rand Campbell's Raw's hangout back when Raw used to do videos, and he had lied about having JD's information, and then subsequently never actually acknowledged lying about it, and then got on Phony Beatlemaniac's case because he said, well, what did I say later? I said I didn't have anything. And it's like, so you lied. So he's then demanding that JD Kane apologize to him, even though he was the one who was threatening to put out his personal information and expose his wife and few daughters to whatever internet stranger might do them harm. But JD Kane is the one that needs to apologize.
And he couldn't really once again, he couldn't really articulate what he should apologize for.
Oh, he came up with it later. He came up with it later because when JD first asked him, he was like, "You know what you did." It's like, oh yeah, he can't think of anything. But then later he says it's because you were muting me in the hangout, and he said, "Well, G-Man, you were talking over everyone, and plus you mute people all the time." G-Man goes, "I never mute people in my hangout." Everyone dies laughing.
Here's the other thing too, is that you just want to talk about shitty behavior for a guy that still advocates for Brett King and all the evil atheists that insulted his family and all these other things. If you watch the that one video, I don't know, there's the one clip that was posted up there where he makes comments about your wife, he makes comments about your son. You know, like. This is from G-Man. This is from the guy who, has placed himself as the moral arbiter of how one ought to behave on the internet, and this is what he's doing.
He is God, Sokka.
But again, that shows a lack of empathy because Sokka, I'm guessing you have children or you steal them from someone else. I've got kids. But
you can't hear them constantly in the background, always 24 hours a day, making fucking noise.
Yes, Sokka, sweetheart. You gotta wait till Sokka turns into a black man, because then Sokka starts screaming, "I'll kill you all!" Oh, we gotta mute this mic.
No, would that be a threat?
But it's that empathy thing. Is we don't. I don't do that to other people. I don't talk about people's family. I might talk about someone being completely stupid or a dickhead. But I don't involve.
I just confirmed Sokka's fucking nationality. He's Asian. Look at those eyes.
Look at his
Yeah, my little Asian baby. Yes, you are. Yes,
the Amber Alert. The Amber Alert. Somebody stole a cute baby.
9, 10 months
in Canada.
I miss having babies.
No, you don't.
Oh,
I did too before I went to Maury Povich.
No.
But I'll say this though, you guys, I think Drag, you do have to admit though, because you respond to a lot of the stuff that he does, and it's got to be frustrating for him because every time he puts something up, and then you go through like a point by point deconstruction of it to show the flaws and everything. So I think it just builds up after time. Like, my God, yeah. And it burst, and this is the burst. The balloon finally loaded up with air, now it burst, and then now we gotta load it back up again. So this is just a continuous cycle.
No, I was talking to Sam, and I said, because Sam was like, he says, all right, how long are you gonna milk this? I said, all right, yeah. I said, I'm gonna leave it Saturday night. I'm gonna leave him alone, let him decompress. Mostly because Tuesday I have an exam, but yeah, he's gotten to the point. He did threaten to dox JD Kane's daughter's school. Yeah, he's threatened a lot of stuff, but they're all empty threats, and I don't intend on taking anything to any police because it's really never that. Unless I legitimately think my family's in danger, G-Man will get a notification real fucking quick. Because
at what point do
a
you
threat
think
like that to dox
danger?
someone else? A threat to dox someone's daughter's school is actually very disturbing.
Yeah. Oh no, he's very he's done. Trust me. Like, part of me wishes I could really tell y'all some of the stuff that I found out about G-Man. He's a lot worse than y'all think. I mean, he needs to. Let's put it like this. Even his former Christian brothers don't fuck with him for a reason, and other people too that think he's a harmless idiot don't fuck with him for a reason. Like there's a lot that he really doesn't understand. Like he pretends as though he knows some stuff about me. The fact that he has to ask my address tells me he doesn't know half about me that I know about him. And so if I really wanted to tear him down as a person, I'd make a 3-hour video detailing all the shit that I actually know about G-Man. But I don't, because it's not necessary. Like if he really wants me to go there, then sure, we can do that. I just
Will we ever get this grand finale, Drag?
No, I've promised, because folks have told me things in confidence that I'm going to keep unless there's a criminal case. Then it will. But there's despicable things that G-Man has actually done.
I know one thing.
Unfortunately, I really would not be surprised.
Family Center.
No, he's not the innocent idiot that people think at all whatsoever.
I really would not be surprised if it comes to that point at some stage.
Yeah, and so I made it a point to, when he first came in, when I mentioned, let's say, okay, G-Man, what happened when you first met me? Were you not on your knees? You notice he backed away from that really quickly.
Yeah.
He never wants to actually address that. He doesn't like to be emasculated, and that's something I caught on to him later, way early on.
How long did you hold that grip for?
It could have been more than a minute.
Please tell me it was your bad hand.
Yeah, so I was shaking his hand. So if I'm walking up, yeah, it'd been my right hand. So no, it was actually my good hand, because the ulnar nerve damage is on my left.
Damn it!
No, I wouldn't. I mean, there was the arm wrestling. Now, yeah, the arm wrestling was on my left arm, so I still beat him with an arm that had nerve damage.
Sorry.
From somebody who's a fat slob and this is before I started working out again. So someone who had been a fat slob for years, hadn't done a push-up in years, who has nerve damage, and he still got beat.
But he's a pretty small guy. He's only 5'6".
God, yeah, he's like 5. I think max 5'9", maybe 110 pounds soaking wet.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, I'm 5'8" and about 15 stone, so I'm not exactly in the world's best shape.
I think those barrels weigh more than he does.
Yeah.
Wait, so he's shorter than 170?
Well, it's funny. Like
he's about 178 if he's about 5'9".
Like I'm over.
No,
I'm just over 5'11". Okay, so I like to think that I'm about average, maybe slightly above average in size. And the other day I was talking to Max Hangout in that hangout there, and he called me a short guy because that pissed me off. Max called me short just because that fucking monster is like 6'4" or whatever.
Guys,
well, I used to be average height for an English guy, for a British person.
Guys,
and it's sorry, go.
Yeah, I'm short. I'm your standard 5'9". But that's 5'9" is 175.
No, 5'9" is 178 because 6 foot.
It's 175.
Is that okay? I don't do metric for height, so
fucking Imperials.
Yeah, goddamn Imperials.
Well, there's a good reason not to use the metric system for things like height and distance.
Yeah.
Because the French invented it.
USA.
Yes, and we're supposed to be an English colony. We're supposed
the
to be
Americans
a colony of yours, and we switched it in metric.
Right, so you guys should be quiet.
Oh, he's about
good reason to use it. It's not English.
Oh no, so excuse me. No, he's 5'5". No, someone else was 5'9". I think it was. It's 5'9".
So G-Man's
5'5". Fiona corrected me. Thank you. So for those of you watching, you guys get a treat.
Fiona's taller than G-Man.
So Fiona can literally like
dwarves.
So Fiona comes up to like his ear or something.
They're around the same height. So guess what, folks? Guess the fuck what? Remember that thing I was telling you about? We made it. This is the G Lexicon Wikia. You can conveniently find this.
The G Dictionary. God.
I love it.
Oh, this needs its own unveiling video, Drake.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say the reason that this will never come to a peak with G-Man is he is like, the crap spewing version of a perpetual motion machine.
Oh yeah.
A legally binding contract.
If he stops talking, he has to think. That's what it is. If he stops talking, he has to think. He doesn't want to think, so he doesn't stop talking.
Is
this your big front?
This is still the beginning of the project. We're still there's no central link. There's supposed to be I gotta talk to Peter. There's supposed to be a central link given a profile or a link to the profile to G-Man, and we'll probably use this image. But then that link will have all of these other ones down here, and so some of them are actually redirects to one another because he defines them the same. So we're still building it. I said, why not? Since we're talking about
I love the
G-Man.
definition of slave, by the way. That was just classic.
You should link in. No, you should use that picture that Doc Savage uses on his videos.
Actually,
his profile picture.
Thank you. Actually, me invite Doc. Thank you for reminding me about that. Because if you have any pictures of G-Man where he's just looking dumb, well, pictures of G-Man period, then just send them. Tag P Review, tag me, and so we can gather them up.
Wait, there was that picture that
you know that point in the video yesterday, Drag, where you stopped it, where Phalo caught him, and he just had that look. That was one of the best sort of stills of G-Man I have seen because you literally could see "oh fuck" going through his head. You could hear that.
Yeah. Oh, you
could hear that.
He realizes. And that's when the penny drops on him.
That was the best.
Realizes he fucked up bad.
You could hear that.
I listen to profanity. Oh, yeah, you do.
This one may need some work. This is from what I could figure out. That this is what semantic liar means. I think this one needs some work.
So the first song that he was listening to that video, because I only made it like 3 minutes into it, was a cover of a Limp Bizkit song. Is that what it was?
Was it Faith?
I think so.
Yeah, he wasn't even listening to. No, it wasn't Faith. It was I think it was like fuck. Jeez, it was another one. Break Stuff or maybe I don't know. But anyway, like I was listening to him kind of like singing along there, and I'm like this motherfucker's singing Limp Bizkit, and then he said that it was like a cover or something like that. So he doesn't even listen to fucking Fred Durst. He listens to a cover of Fred Durst, which is like
it's better than Fred Durst.
I'm not sure. Is
yeah,
it
I was going to say.
Okay. All right, well then it's better. Okay, fine.
A little bit.
Oh come on, let's face it. Fred Durst did once do a decent song, but he had to do it with Stained. So let's just give him some
poor kitty cat.
Fred Durst alone.
That's not how you hold
it's been fun, but I'm taking all the kids out today so my wife can study for finals. So I should probably go now because I did start driving a few minutes ago. So yeah.
Enjoy the nice weather, soccer.
Peace out.
Peace out. I'm going to take this point to leave too because I should really go and make some food for my children.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this to a close soon. If anyone else wants to start an after show, feel free. I'm doing that. Yeah, that's fine. I may join. My brother's coming over, and I need to get something to eat. This is too funny.
Anabolic atheist.
Drag, I'd love you to do an interview with your cousin.
Yes.
I'll see if I can convince him.
Where did you get that picture from?
I don't know.
In full.
I think
he looks like he's pulling a WWE move on the cat.
If you really want to know, this is on one of his own videos.
What the hell is
Atheist Zone number 2, so it's a ramp.
Atheist Own number 2, exactly, and this is 2 seconds in.
It's like he just gives you plenty. Like he gives me plenty of material, so it's a symbiotic relationship.
I mean, it wasn't just that long ago.
It's a perpetual crap spewing machine. It really is.
I just literally on the previous drag hangout, I screenshotted that picture of him holding his own head. That was him putting a picture completely unrelated to all the content within that hangout, which had only himself in it. He cut that from some other hangout and put it as the thumbnail for this video.
I still remember one of my very first interactions with G-Man, and he said, he sort of invited me into a discussion and said, yeah, you know about history and archaeology and stuff. And I went, yeah, I know a little bit. And he said, so what ended the Ice Age? I go, what the fuck has that to do with archaeology or history or anything? And so,
I'm so sorry for you, man.
Wait, I'm still trying to get my head around that. What?
Yeah. And I'm not joking. And then he said, well, dinosaur bones then. And I said, do you understand what archaeology actually is? And I said, archaeology is the study of, humanity through the ages. What we did, where we've been. And we dig it up and we try and come up with an idea of why they did it. So it's a very soft science, and I freely admit that. But, it was that whole thing of, you don't understand the difference between geology, paleontology, archaeology, anthropology, and history. And he really, I really think he has problems with actually getting an understanding of what these fields pertain to. It's a bit like saying, I've done some reasonably interesting maths around sort of data center design when I was younger. Doesn't mean I'm a good mathematician. Doesn't mean I'm qualified as a mathematician. Doesn't mean I know what a tenth or probably even 1% of what a professional mathematician does. It means that when it comes to something called stochastic modeling, I've kind of got an idea of the principles behind it, and I can work a model out from it. And I think this is one of the things that I find really, really frustrating. Is I think the more knowledge you have on a topic, the more what you realize is how little of that topic you actually understand.
Right. Like a perfect example, and I brought this up when I first took genetics almost a year ago, is that the more I would learn in this class, the more I truly understood how little I fucking knew. And I mean, just last Thursday, I learned a new fucking word. And RC will probably be the only one here that recognizes this word, chromothypsis.
Huh?
Yeah. Like it's such an obscure. Well, if outside of the realm of genetics is a really obscure term, well, it basically chromothypsis when a chromosome explodes, basically.
Okay.
Let me see if I can spell it here. Chromothypsis, but just understanding the mechanism, because it's like, and this is. Let me try and spell it. Thipsis.
Cohorse. That is.
I forgot the R. Chromothripsis. Excuse me.
Thripsis. That sounds better.
Thripsis.
But cohorse. I mean, seriously, what the hell is that even supposed to be?
So this one came. No. Coerce. So G-Man said that 13 heathens coerced his son into becoming an atheist. I'm paraphrasing, but yes, that's G-Man's charge against 13 heathens. 13 heathens coerced his son.
You should have made it 3-headed like Kerberos the dog, but anyway.
Nice pronunciation, by the way. Most people say Cerebus.
It depends whether you're from Greece.
Oh, he said
if you're Greek, you say the hard K. Cerebus.
Yeah.
It's a Greek fucking word. I think you get the. I think the Greeks are allowed to say how you should pronounce it.
So wait, is it Cerberus or Cerbus?
Caribus.
Caribus? Okay.
Caribou.
I can't.
Like caribou, yeah. Actually, that's.
I've been pronouncing it wrong all these years.
Everybody does, because the anglicized version is Cerebus. And I could go into a 20-minute boring story about the change in how we pronounce stuff back in the early sort of
well, it's not
19th
boring,
century,
you can
18th
say,
century, but I'm not going to go there.
It's not boring.
I was going to say all I know is the version you use in Unix starts with a K.
Well, Druce, if you want to go, God damn it, I can never pronounce.
Druss, like Russ with a D.
Russ. Well, if you want to tell that story, you can tell it on my stream in 6 minutes.
I would love to, but as I said, I've got to go and cook for the kids because I just started 20 minutes ago. Guys,
talk about hard words.
Peace out, man.
All right, see you. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
I'm gonna be out of here as well. It's my beddy time.
Okay, good night.
Hey, Drag, I got a question.
Good night, guys.
Could you try to educate G-Man what a prostate is?
No.
Please, Drag.
No, like it's
Fuck me, goddamn, I'm about to leave when I hear that shit.
he look, folks. I've honestly look. Okay, I'll tell you another story. Oh, I want people to try and pronounce this. What do you think this word is? Well, it's actually a name technically, but
Arsenal.
Arsenox.
Arsenal.
Yep. Billionaire got it. Arsenal.
Well, I'm illiterate.
Well, no, that's French. So I mean that's gonna be a hard one.
Good.
But so G-Man contacted me because he wanted help against flat earthers, right? Let me tell you the struggle it is to get him to even understand something fucking basic within the topic that he claims that he has interest in, because he went on and on about he doesn't like biology. He didn't hate it. He doesn't like biology too much. He likes astronomy. Okay, fair enough. But he can't actually sit down and read stuff. Like it can even be like a Science Direct article. He can't actually sit down and read it. So it's hard to teach him something when he doesn't have a physical representation of it in front of him, and that there's somebody just, attractive and white and female to teach it to him. Like nothing sinks in. You have to feel sorry for him.
As a child, I had severe ADHD, and I still have it. I got kicked out at like the 5th grade, and we had a fight to get me back in class because of how disruptive and how hyper I was. I couldn't sit down, and I was in a G-man state. And there's a magical drug called Ritalin he should try. If he wants, he can snort it. If he wants, he can inject it anally. Suppository. But Ritalin will work wonders for him, and I would recommend that. He should have a brother that would sell it. And when I say brother, I'm not being racist or anything. I mean physically one of his brothers should sell it, going by what he states. So,
yeah, I'm pretty sure, given the propensity for his brothers to commit crimes, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they sold drugs. Unfortunately, yes, I am being a bit stereotypical, but that's based on what he fucking said. So, I mean, if they'll put bullets in people's heads, then selling drugs ain't shit.
His own words.
Fortunately, my brothers are too busy. Actually, y'all saw one in the chat. He's in the Air Force doing shit. One is actually on his way here. He was doing cooking school. Now he's just trying to pay off some student loans and then go back to cooking school. And the other one's still at home with our parents, trying to figure out what the fuck he wants to do with his life. But none of us have been arrested. Half my mother's children have gone to the military. So you know what? I think my family's doing a little bit better than his. So
sounds like you've had a decent mother.
Yeah, and I need to really kiss I need to take her out to Red Lobster. Bitches love cheddar biscuits. So
you keep saying that. When are you going to do it?
She lives like 2 hours from Neffy, so that's a little ways from me. Yeah, if she was just down the street, Yeah, the fun fact. Yeah, my parents actually live about 2 hours from Neffy.
Drag, I was just in Walmart before I showed up for the hangout. They are selling cheddar biscuits at Walmart in a mixed recipe. So you can just make them for her. You don't even have to take her to Red Lobster.
I think you're talking about these by any chance? This box here?
Yep, the same thing. I actually picked one up and looked at the instructions. I was like, oh, that's how they make them.
Yeah, I thought it was but the way they taste, I was like, there has to be more to it. It's like, no.
Nope. They're throwing a lot of butter.
Oh yeah.
It's a tiny thing you can't see. That's nothing like a human.
So how long until MI3 hacks G-Man's new phone?
You know what? Who knows? Because he had mentioned this conspiracy before, but when everything had happened, and then when we finally found out, it's like, oh, okay, you put your shit with other people's, and then when things were getting cleaned up, it got scooped with everyone else's stuff. So that's how. But I'm not sure how. I guess the mechanics as to how things happen. Because first, someone had to have equipment to perform whatever hacking or whatever he thinks happened, which nobody had. So Meanwhile, while everyone else was out helping him search with him, somehow some tech wizard, which evidently was me or somebody else, somehow was in two places at once.
It was Fiona. We know it. She's within MI3.
I guess so, because I'm trying to figure out how he thinks that because I stayed downstairs. He found his shit upstairs.
What's his rationale for thinking you hacked his phone in the first place?
Because he doesn't know how to operate technology, so he thinks that because when you put your number out there and people blow your phone up because you're a dickweed, then that means that someone hacked you. Because what he's doing now, he's attaching somebody's efforts to call him incessantly and his inability to operate his own phone because he thinks they're interrelated.
So hold on, when you guys visited him in New York, did anyone share a hotel room with him?
No, he came in the hotel room to see where everybody was, but then he put his stuff down.
Oh, okay. But he didn't stay at the hotel.
No, not at all.
So let me get this straight. The guy puts his phone number on the internet.
Yes.
And then complains, says his phone is getting hacked because he gets prank phone calls.
Yes. It's literally that dumb. But when he first said it,
and tries to tie it to how long ago was this fucking trip?
This trip, well over a year ago.
I was gonna say there was a New York trip this fall that had nothing to do with him. Then it was the year before that. It was 2016, wasn't it?
Oh shit! It was at the end of 2016. You're right. It was at the end of 2016. You're right. So here's the weird thing. He did mention that. Oh, you guys are probably trying to do something with my phone. He did mention it, but we thought we thought it was a joke. He was like, oh, okay, here we go, But then he dropped it. I was like, whatever. But then it kept coming up, and so I'm like, no, he really does think that someone did something to his phone. But he can't actually remember that everyone that he thinks did something to his phone was with him downstairs helping him trying to find it. But because if you look at the apology video, he names Hannah and MP. Hannah was upstairs with people searching for his phone. I was downstairs with MP, JD, and a few others trying to find it. So he thinks that me or somebody else, what I guarantee you is somebody who was downstairs because we were all split up. But the people that he thinks did it were downstairs with him at the time.
Sorry.
It's just no, it's stupid. No, you should laugh because it's like he doesn't actually remember what happened, so he just makes stuff up as he goes along.
What the hell? I don't get it.
What mental deficiency does G-Man have?
Well, suppose someone said that he admitted that he had been diagnosed with extreme emotional disturbance as a kid. Someone said he made a video and he let that out.
What is that? Extreme emotional disturbance?
It might not have been. It might have just been emotional disturbance. I think it's extreme.
That's not a diagnosis I recognize.
It is a diagnosis.
Go sit down, child. Something wrong with him, obviously.
The first paragraph I see about extreme emotional disturbance, criminal homicide constitutes manslaughter when it is committed recklessly, or a homicide which would otherwise be murder is committed under influence of extreme mental or extreme emotional disturbance. That's the only thing that comes up.
Yeah, that's not a medical diagnosis. It's a legal term.
Exactly. That's the only thing that comes up when you Google extreme emotional disturbance.
So, did he commit some kind of felony?
Maybe.
It would not surprise me.
Because the apathy, the poor insight, the really only other thing that is missing for someone who has like severe mental illness would be like legal problems or injuring or harming animals. Or I guess setting fire if you're a pyromaniac. But that's like the trifecta.
Well,
right
you just seen how he held his cat. That is abuse to an animal. RSC.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Fiona.
Hello,
the MI6 woman herself. Welcome, Special Agent.
Hello, people.
Hello, Fiona.
Hold on a sec. I missed most of that because I was out shoveling horse shit. Apparently, you lot were having to avoid horse shit that was getting chucked around. Listen, one thing I wanted to say, I was in New York. I was there when all this went down. Nobody took his phone.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he's just a blooming idiot. He put his his phone number on the internet.
He mislaid his phone. He mislaid it,
folks.
And they.
All right, it's official. Drag, you can tell him. We know he did it.
I'll let him say it. Go ahead, Fiona.
Right. So anyway, he mislaid the phone, and everybody else had to run about trying to find it for him. The only time that somebody's phone was taken was when G-Man took MP's phone. And this is all live on air. He took MP's phone and was running around in the hotel, in the hangout, live on MP's phone. That was G-Man had MP's phone. Does anybody, do you remember that, Drag?
Yeah, it's live. I mean, he was having a good old time, but then all of a sudden this conspiracy comes about.
But he mislaid his phone. Nobody took his phone. Nobody. And seeing as I was one of the ones that was actually present, I was in the accusation because it clumps me in as well.
Well, if you leave your phone anywhere in New York, you're lucky if it doesn't get taken.
We just added fuel to the fire. G-Man's observing the side chat. Heads up.
Oh, he's in the side chat? Oh dear.
Yeah.
I know he's watching this because he can't help himself.
I can't see any comments from him at all. He must have blocked me again. Listen, guys, I was going to say that I've just caught up on everything that happened earlier on. He was completely out of control, absolutely out of control. And it's at this point that I think you have to just kick him to the curb and move on. Because, and that message is really not for you guys. This is for those that are busy trying to defend him. Can they watch what he did in this hangout and still defend him? Can they? I can't defend what he did in this hangout. I've watched him scream over Mrs. Drag. I've watched him ask questions and then scream over any answer. I watched him give somebody 30 seconds to say something and out loud give a blinking countdown over the top of the person trying to tell him anything. And for the record, nobody doxed G-Man. G-Man doxed himself and then forgot he'd done it. But I notice that he used Drag's real name in here. And having done that, he loses any right to complain if someone uses his real name.
Yep. Notice I have not referred to him by his real name.
And we shouldn't. Nobody should. But now he's done it to you.
Well, no, at the beginning of it all, it was funny, and I told people, I said, watch this, watch when he comes in. I told people I have a technique on how to deal with G-Man, and I'm calm at all times, and I control the situation, and he flies off the handle. I've openly said this. Openly. There's an entire video of me telling people how to deal with G-Man. And so he sees me saying this, and then he still can't control himself. And that's what's funny. JD, man, please tell me you saw G-Man blow the fuck up.
Welcome, JD. How are you?
A little loud over here, but fine. And I'm listening to hear what the hell's going on.
Oh, you missed an epic meltdown. So did I. I missed. G-Man has lost the plot. Absolutely.
With the magic of the internet, you can always hit replay. That's the amazing thing.
I cannot see what he's saying in the live chat.
Is he saying something?
I don't know.
I don't think he's saying anything.
No, we were talking about his icon. Whenever you view something, you can see his icon.
Oh, in the external.
Yeah.
He
Well,
went off the reservation here, though.
yeah, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Seriously.
It was that bad? All right. So,
Yeah.
who wants to give you a super quick catch up? I don't want to take up too much time.
So
basically, why did you hack his phone, JD? That's the question that needs to be.
I work for the NSA. It's what we do. Why is everyone surprised by this?
So check this out. So last night he's throwing a shit fit about sucking off Ken Hovind like he normally does. So my wife's in the chat saying hi to everyone, talking to Vane Veen, saying hi to G-Man, being nice. So this fucker decides to start lashing out at her since he's too much of a bitch to come after me. And so he's like, well, Miss Dragnauct, you don't think for yourself? And so she's telling me all this, and then he realizes that he's yet again stepped over the line with that. And so I make a video last night telling him, you need to watch what you fucking say to my wife, because she's been nothing but nice to you. We are not the same person, and pretty much putting him in his fucking place and saying, look, if you really want to see me mean, I can be mean to you. You should not cross that line, G-Man. Shani sees this and she says, G-Man, you've been warned. You need to back off. And so he watches Shani's video. Shani references my video. He doesn't actually watch my video and hear what I said, but he takes a paraphrase from Shani and go, oh, Dragnauct threatened me. So he gets all hyped up. He comes in at 80% G-Man. And so he makes his video calling me out, and I make a live video responding to it. And I sit here and wait for him, and he blows up. And I mean, it's glorious.
Oh, I missed it. Damn it.
So what level of G-Man was this?
That was
Super
103.
Saiyan
No, that was like, he went over 100.
He was turned up to 11.
Was that Super Saiyan?
No, that's Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
Alrighty.
Can I just one other thing that's really bothered me was when he screamed at Mrs. Drag and told her to basically leave Drag and go and find a real man.
Oh, that was good.
That really is bothering me. He's interfering or trying to interfere in a marriage.
Well, I can't entirely disagree with him. I heard in Jersey there's this virgin, blue barrel stacking guy who's just perfect for her. So I mean,
that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said, well, so she should find a man like you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like unmolded clay. I mean, he has no experience whatsoever. She can turn into whatever she wants.
Yeah, but I'm having a real problem with this one because he was having a go at Mrs. Drag. He's trying to say that she doesn't think for herself. And yet, at the same time, he will tell Bruce Shepherd to sort out his wife, Sabella. Because Sabella dares to think for herself. What does he want? Women thinking for themselves or women not thinking for themselves? And it seems that it's
hypocrite.
Any port in a storm as far as he's concerned. And to actually interfere between a husband and wife, that's wrong. That is absolutely wrong.
Yeah. And then to give any kind of relationship advice like what he tried to do with Jade is on top of it.
Yeah, it's more evidence that he can't take the same type of criticism he gives the other people. And that's the same thing, and I've told people, the same stuff that I say about G-Man is what he says about other folks. I just give it right back to him. If he does not like what I say to him, then he needs to leave the internet. Because evidently, if you look at our behaviors, like I got serious with him for just a second because he felt the need to misrepresent my wife, who's been his advocate. Those videos that he's talking about, she's scolding me, telling me I need to be nicer to him, telling me that I should not keep going after him incessantly. That's what she's saying. Yeah. And so this fucking idiot can't actually sit down and consider, wow, maybe somebody feels sorry for my dumbass and actually understand that she has been in his side and she has talked to him on the phone because he has her number and she wanted to talk to him without me. And I walked away. I said, fine, you do what you want. You're a big girl. But he doesn't understand that. And so now he wants to get the police involved because, well, he thinks his fifis on the internet were hurt.
But he can't say what the threat is that he's going to report to the police because he's not watched the video.
Here's the funny thing.
Can I just one other thing to say? This isn't the first time that G-Man has tried to stick his oar into a marriage. You'll remember the whole fiasco over the me and Alex Botten thing. Alex was married. I'm married. G-Man tried to stick his oar into 2 marriages. Where does he get off trying to do that? Where does it tell him in his Bible that he should stick his oar into marriages and possibly cause strife between husband and wife? It doesn't. It doesn't tell him to do that. Certainly not with lies. He really needs to check himself at this point.
Well, he has a lot of Christian brothers and sisters that should be out there, that should be talking to him. I mean, if the best thing for him to do is not to respond to me, then fine. That's perfectly fine. I accept that. That's actually good advice. But he can't control himself, and like others have said, you can't control him. So why call him a Christian brother?
See, I'm not prepared to say one way or the other. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not a Christian. I can say that someone doesn't really behave like a Christian, but it's not for me to actually judge that. So I won't make that judgment, and I encourage other people not to make that judgment of him. But those who are supporting him in what he's doing need to get off their backsides and tell him a few home truths. Tell him what his behaviour looked like today. Tell him to pump the brakes. Tell him to get a grip. Because what he's doing is shameful.
The people that follow him will learn eventually that they will receive this type of treatment by G-Man.
Others have learned. Veckles learn. But I mean, hey, I guess people just don't want to incur G-Man's wrath. Maybe they're scared of him. Maybe they're scared.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were serious?
I don't know.
Anyone being scared of G-Man? I really no.
I don't know. Maybe people are.
I mean, maybe if you're like a 12-year-old girl. And he's coming up to you shaking a Bible going, have you heard about Jesus? That might be a little scary initially.
I would say a 6-year-old girl, not a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old would just kick him in the nuts.
That's true, because my 9-year-old knows G-Man. She could give a shit. Like, well, it's G-Man. He's an idiot.
He is.
Says, there you go.
There you go.
Says the 9-year-old.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because my husband, he's not interested in this kind of thing, G Plus and Hangouts and stuff. But he does call G-Man Z-Man. As in going to sleep. You know, that sort of Z-Man.
Oh, okay.
Z-Man. Yeah, Z-Man.
He's not interested. My husband doesn't like me talking to strangers online, which is understandable. Well, we met online. Me and my husband met online, so he's a bit cautious, to be fair.
Oh.
I was going to say maybe Z-Man as in Last Man on Earth.
It could be, yeah.
And still wouldn't have him.
Yeah, possibly.
Midnight, you were trying to say something?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that I originally planned as doing it at 12:30, but I guess now I'm stuck doing it at 1.
Oh well, actually, I forgot all about it. We should start talking. Yeah, all right, folks. Do you have your Hangout already set up?
Yeah, I just waiting.
Get the watch link. Put the watch link out in the live chat so people can go over there. Let me grab something to eat. And,
I'm not a mod though.
Huh?
I'm not a mod.
You're not? Say something in my chat so I can make you a mod. I could have sworn I made you one. Oh, there we go. And there you go. All right, make sure you put it in quotes. It's screwy.
There we go. Okay.
All right, folks. So you head over there. I mean, you can replay bits of this Hangout too, just like some of the best bits.
Yeah, fair use.
Fair use.
Hey, Drag. I also spoke in the chat. Wink, wink, not judge.
No.
Fuck, I thought it was
Look, a pig. We know what happens when we make you a moderator or admin of anything.
Yeah. Yep. So, Bullionator, did you get that
nothing
screenshot
bad
of
has happened? Yeah.
Ow.
Okay.
Bullionator, did you get that screenshot of G-Man asking me to snipe his channel?
Yes, I did. And you know what I find interesting? The most interesting thing about that interaction is it seems so cordial,
right?
With a one-on-one basis with him, but the fact that it's cordial and then he comes in here like that, it's almost like there's more than one person there.
We could explore that. I wonder if we had a doctor here that might be able to help.
I don't know. I'm fully against people acting like psychologists who don't have a degree and don't have a couch to actually sit down with a person. I hate that nonsense, but
really, what does saying that to us make you feel?
It makes me feel angry and horny at the same time.
Yeah, you have problems, Look a Pig. So can we get the? Can we get
and on that
join
note,
link?
maybe we
No, I do not. Leave me alone.
Yeah, okay. I have a Skype and you do too. All right, so yeah, midnight, the internal link, so people in here can make the shift and go over there.
Yeah, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here and go.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, there you go. Put it in the external, and I'll put it inside of here. And so,
yeah,
I'll end this in a few minutes. So, let's go ahead and get that party started. And my son wants a hug. Oh, Daddy doesn't want you to be an idiot. No, you will not be an idiot. I promise.
Tell him there's a
wish
great
I
big
had a
hug
dad to
coming from.
hug.
You tell him there's a great big hug coming from me.
Oh, there's a great big hug coming from a tiny Scottish woman named Fiona. Here.
Oh, squeezy, 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 squeezy.
That hurt.
That hurt? Good.
Yeah, I think when I first met Drag, I gave Drag quite a squeezy hug as well.
Yeah, well, you tackled me first, and then came the hug.
I didn't tackle. Well,
you're below my center of gravity.
Did I sort of leap on you? Yeah, I think I might have done actually. Yeah, maybe I did tackle you. Sorry about that.
I have a question. How does the MI6 transfer electronic equipment through horses? Like, what's the procedure for that?
What? See that? E?
It's a cohorse transmission.
The cohorse. It's called the cohorse.
Cohorse. Fucking hell.
I don't know. But I do know that I'm going to make a new profile called the Anabolic Cohorse. Just because I can.
Notice how she's keeping her MI6 cover.
Make sure you make it with a picture of one of those big thoroughbreds that's all pumped up on steroids.
Don't you worry. They're not thoroughbreds. It's the genetic defect is in the quarter horse line. It's now in Appaloosas as well because of indiscriminate breeding. But yes, okay. It's a genetic defect. But yes, I'll get one of those pictures, definitely. But yeah, I only came in here just to say to Drag and to Mrs. Drag, don't let him get between you. Just don't. He's got no right. He's got no right to do it. I don't know where he's getting off thinking he can do this, and he's tried it with others.
Miss Cooper's just the thing. He thinks he is God. That's the problem.
Yeah.
This sounds exactly. I was going to say, this sounds exactly like an episode of Dr. Phil that needs to happen. Someone needs to bring Gary in, and you and Mrs. Drag need to be on stage, and just let it fly.
No, better yet, Murray. Man.
Do you guys know? Well, I'll tell you about the failed G-Man intervention video. JD was there. We'll talk about that on
offline
channel. No. There's a video.
If it goes offline, I need to ask you something. So let's wait till it goes offline.
All right, folks, everybody head over to Midnight's channel right now. We'll be over there in just a minute.